Let's check that we're online.
There we go.
Yeah,
We are.
We are.
Fantastic. We're here, we're proud, and we're hopefully not too loud. It's Tabletop Radio, the Adventuring with Pride stream. So, before we dive straight in, let's just make sure that everything's good. I'd just like to point out that as of like 5 minutes ago, we've not only hit our target within the first couple of hours, but completely smashed it. So, fantastic work, everyone! Thank you so much for donating. It's really it's going to do a lot of good.
Very good cause.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to change my Discord profile picture. Should show up in just a sec.
Of course, hitting the donation goal is no reason to stop donating. So, if at any point you feel the urge to donate during the next 4 hours or ongoing, do that straight away. And my delightful husband / assistant here will read out your donation. So let's keep that train rolling. I just wanted to also say that we have donation incentives. For I think £3, you can request our wonderful kazoo players to play a song. From £5, you can even choose the song and torment our poor president by getting them to play Through the Fire and Flames on a kazoo. may not be me. From £20, you can get a wonderful artist Aries to draw you a chibi version of your D&D character, I believe.
Those are limited. I think we're going to stop it off at 10, and I think 5 have already gone. Yeah,
and so they are limited, so if you want that, get in them quick.
It is one person doing all of them, so they're sort of limited by their time, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
And I think they're going to be drawing some of them live on stream either tonight or tomorrow night, I forget.
I think during DD and D&D is the plan.
Yep.
Very exciting.
That being said, sorry, take it away, Alex.
No, go on, sorry.
That was it from me.
Okay,
again, did.
There are also some pins. I will interrupt even more.
Yes,
there's some pins with the Pride version of our logo, and you can also, I think, there's for £1 donation or something, you can get whoever's on the exec during the break to spin a wheel. I'm not sure what's on the wheel, but I think it's fun.
I also don't know what's on the wheel.
We can assure you it could possibly be fun.
Fingers crossed it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So Anakin mentioned previously that I was going to be DMing. That is technically true, but actually there are 2 of us DMing because we both wrote the book together. Well, Jack wrote most of the book and I edited the book. And if you want to, you can find us on any social media at Dictionary and Jackophobia, respectively. Their names just above our heads.
Getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
Okay, so what is Adventuring with Pride? Adventuring with Pride is... What do you want to explain it, Jack?
Okay, so...
Drop you in there.
I wasn't prepared. I wasn't expecting this. So Adventuring with Pride is a D&D 5e supplement book based around kind of queer culture and LGBT themes. So for the longest time, I've been a big fan of D&D. So I sort of kind of wanted to see more queer representation in D&D. So that's where I just started writing a campaign, which then turned into a book, which is weird how that happens.
Yep. And speaking completely objectively, I can say that it's an excellent book, which you should all go out and get. I haven't put a link anywhere, but if you go to the pocketworkshop.co.uk, half of the proceeds from that are going straight to Stonewall as well. So once again, all for a good cause.
Yes.
So in Adventuring with Pride, there are 4 one-shot adventures. Well, one of them is actually a 2-shot because it's enormous, but 4 one-shot adventures, and we're going to be playing through the first of those adventures today. And we're going to meet, very shortly, we're going to meet the 3 main characters that will play through the adventure. So before we dive in, are you 3 ready?
Indeed.
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Fantastic.
I love the confidence.
So we'll introduce the characters as part of the first scene. So I think we'll just jump straight in with the first scene, if that's all right with you.
Sure.
So our 3 adventurers are going to wake up in a dark cell, barely lit by a single candle. so it's almost pitch black, but you can just about see each other. The cell and the room beyond have got low ceilings and cold, damp stone walls. You can hear muted chatter coming through the ceiling above you. Each of the three of you have got a thick iron band running around your necks. There's no visible clasp or lock. It seems to have been placed there magically and bound by arcane forces. And now, the three of you characters, Vicki, Mika and Mirabelle, are going to meet each other for the first time. So, would you like to introduce yourself, Vicki?
So you see her slowly waking up, this absolutely fabulous looking orcish, yes, orcish drag queen. Some of her hair is probably tousled, and maybe makeup is running a bit, because I don't imagine the cell has done very much good to Vicky's absolutely fabulous get-up. But nevertheless, she'll slowly start coming to, opening her eyes, looking around for the axe that you can see she's holding. I imagine that's nowhere to be found.
Yes, that's correct.
Ooh.
Okay. Thanks, Jakub. John, would you like to introduce Mika?
Of course. Also probably rousing a bit, clutching his head or something, and looking a bit curiously around is a semi-topless dwarf with a very impressive and well-kept beard. He probably fumbles around for his hat, hoping to find it, and affixing it firmly to his head. Wondering, I don't remember going to sleep in a dungeon like this. I'm not normally sleeping. I'm not normally sleeping when I'm in those, but
very nice. And Thomas, would you like to introduce Mirabelle?
Also rousing at this point, you see a very sharply dressed half-elf woman gradually opening her eyes and seeing what's going on around her, looking very confused at the situation she's managed to get herself in. Oh dear, what happened yesterday? I don't remember being here last night. Goodness me.
Vicki is going to... I assume, is there like a... Because if we're in a cell, is there like bars on one side,
That's exactly right, yes. There are bars down the middle and there's a corridor off on the other side of the bars.
In that case, Vicki is going to strut over to the bars and, start giving them a quote-unquote gentle shake, but it's gentle by Vicki standards, meaning not gentle at all. It's going to say, excuse me?
Yeah.
Sorry, is there anyone around?
If iron bars could scream, they would be screaming right now, but they are not shifting. They are rock solid and probably also arcane in their construction.
What a bother. Do they not know who they're dealing with? Excuse me?
Hello? Is anyone out there to help?
Nobody is responding to your call.
Right. Mika is going to sort of tentatively look at the fact that the bars are arcane. He's going to try and cast Druidcraft in his hand just to get a little bit of a flower in there or something.
Okay, you cast Druidcraft. Obviously, there's not a lot of ground around you to grow flowers in, but a small selection of petals appears in your hand.
The bars might be arcane, but they've not done anything to stop us. I think this is where my specialty might come in. Having said that, I know bear is his normal form, but can I change into a spider or something like that?
Unfortunately, bear can only change into a bear.
I apologise.
Yeah, he can't. The idea being to go small.
Completely ignore me.
Bear does not like being small. That's why his preferred form, and in fact only successful transformation, is into a bear. If he tried turning into a spider, he would probably turn into a bear.
Okay.
A bear-sized bear, not a spider-sized bear.
I'll retcon that a little bit. Got a good druid out of this.
Okay. Would any of you like to do anything else while we're here?
I'd quite like to take a look at the chain currently attached to my neck to see if there's anything I can do about that.
Okay. Are you going to manipulate it at all, or just kind of look at someone else's? Or
I'd just quite like to investigate it first to see if it might have anything interesting about it.
So it is mostly unremarkable, except on the back of all three. So you're not looking at the back of your own neck. That would be bizarre. On the back of all three of them is a sort of, I don't know how to describe it, emblazoned Q. The letter Q, capital letter Q.
Right. Okay.
It's you believe it to be arcane in its attachment to you, because there's no way that a solid band of iron would be able to fit over your head.
Yeah.
Vicki is going to continue, just bang on the bars, and after a while, she's going to turn to the other two, be like, "Oh, apologies, I didn't see you, darlings. There. Do you happen to know what this whole show is? I mean, I'm a very busy person. I've got things to be getting back to. I can't really afford to be going to look left and right. It'd be standing around these less than ideal furnishings."
It's not quite my type of show either. I mean, normally I prefer this kind of setting a bit less damp.
Yes. So as you turn, Vicki, you notice that your shaking on the bars has knocked something loose, and on the ground is a small note that's got a ring, a human finger ring holding it together, but like bound in a scroll.
I'm gonna pick it up, gently, unfold the ring, have a look at it. Is it a nice ring?
It is a nice ring. It's
Is it gonna fit on my orcish finger?
Yes, it'll fit on your little finger.
I'll put it on my little finger, and then I'll unfurl the scroll, and I'll have a read of it.
Okay, so first things first, the ring. Luckily, it's not a cursed ring. The ring is a ring of very slight healing. So 3 times over the next day, you can expend a charge in order to restore 1d2 hit points. That's either 1 or 2 hit points.
Okay. Very slight heat.
Yes, and the charge is reset at the full moon. So it's currently waning gibbous, so you're a while away from the next full moon.
Yeah.
What's the note say?
And the note, it's written in sort of a fast scrawl. It says, "I knew you'd be trapped here eventually. Come find me. I think we can help each other. I've attached my ring that you may find useful. Hurry." And it's signed L. I'll read that to you again. "I'm sorry that you've become trapped, or I knew you'd become trapped eventually. Come find me. I think we can help each other. I've attached my ring. You may find it useful. Hurry." And that's from L.
L? Does either of you happen to know an L? I mean, I know many L's, but not ones that would lock me up in a dungeon and not say a word. I mean, at least they make it a little bit nicer than this.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, much the same situation. You meet a lot of people as a bartender, you try to remember the names.
I can't say I know anyone by an L. And I know several people who do sign their names in silly ways, but L's not one I'm familiar with.
Hey.
Okay, right. Now, before you get too deep into a conversation about who L might be, somebody actually does arrive. You see a light coming from round the corridor, and eventually somebody arrives with you. And it's a fairly handsome human male, wearing a chainmail vest and a tunic over the top. He's going to slam open the door to the room, and he's going to unlock the cell, stride in, and lock the cell behind him again.
Oh, hello, young man.
He looks... Sorry, yeah, he looked Bear and Mirabelle up and down, and he snarls in a slightly unkind way. He starts to do the same thing to Vicki, and until he notices how tall Vicki is, and he sort of nervously gulps and looks away. And
Do you mind, young man?
You okay, lad? You look like you caught something in your mouth.
so he nervously begins to recite a script from a piece of paper.
Welcome, newly hired members of the Enchanted Woods team. The Queen thanks you for your volunteering. You've been handpicked for your special talents, and which have distinct roles assigned to you. And the jailer pulls out a scroll. Mika Stone, you'll be serving the patrons as the finest ales our brewers can concoct. Miss Crow, your social background is no secret. Chat with our clients, make sure they're happy, keep them merry. And the jailer then looks very, arches his neck back to look Vicki in the face. And yes, the orc, you'll be the entertainment. Any questions?
Yeah.
The orc? The orc?
Who are we working
No.
for? Would you be able to tell?
Yeah, and how exactly did we volunteer?
How does one normally volunteer? You offered up your services to the Queen, who runs the fine establishment of the Enchanted Woods, and you're now working for her, help keep things merry and moving along.
Aye, but in my experience, locking them in a dungeon is a rather unusual induction.
Well, the Queen is rather unique, and this is what you signed up for when you decided to volunteer for the Enchanted Woods team. You can't...
I don't remember signing anything. Normally I can hold on to my liquor quite well. It comes in quite important.
Well, I assure you that you must be having some sort of lapse of memory, because we have a signed document with your name on it confirming your contract to work with the Enchanted Woods. And we're happy to have you here working underneath the Queen.
Very well then. If what you say is true, I must have drunk more than I thought last night.
Any further questions for the jailer?
Paying conditions would be quite nice to know.
Well, this is a volunteering effort. You don't get paid for volunteering, do you?
You don't normally get locked up either.
Well, we run a unique operation here, don't we?
I thought I'd check.
And as you may have noticed, we have adorned you with some custom jewellery. The necklace chain around your neck. That's just to keep you motivated in the sense. So if you if you play by the rules and do what the Queen wants you to do, you'll see no trouble. But if you do.
For how long are we expected to be doing what you say?
Well, see, how do I put this politely? The contract has no end date. Let's just say that.
I'm no intelligent man, but I'm able to
Clearly.
see signs of what sounds like indentured servitude to me.
Out of curiosity, is the man talking to us also wearing a collar, or is he?
No, he's not.
Right.
No. This collar's specifically for our volunteering teams. We keep them in line.
Until they start behaving, at least.
Yeah.
Right. Out of interest, what have you done with my hammer?
Oh, your belongings will be returned to you when your contract ends.
Right, which is an indefinite date. I'm beginning to see a pattern.
Exactly.
Are you? Do you think you're ready to begin your jobs? I'll explain them in more detail shortly.
No.
I suppose that's one word for it.
No. There is something we need to talk over. And Vicky's going to step forward. Her voluptuous, as they are described, curves, jiggling slightly as she takes a step, it's probably over a head taller than this man. She's going to say, I am the world's premier drag queen, and you and your prancy little queen will not refer to me as anything less. Are we understood?
Yes, I was told about you. Yes, Miss Mockery. Yes, Miss Mockery.
Mockery.
we know great tales of your what is it that you do? Bard? Yeah, bard. Entertainment. Yes. We are pleasured to have you working underneath the Enchanted Woods team.
Well,
You keep saying that word, underneath, and I don't think you mean it in a fun way.
well, hope you know. I mean, it'd be more surprising if you didn't. All right, let's get to work. And Vicky's going to step out and start making her way towards wherever we're going.
Well, behind me, please. Behind me.
What's in the way?
Yeah, the jailer unlocks the door and invites you to leave the cell.
I certainly follow.
Mika is trying to pay attention to the surroundings.
Okay. So there's the outer part of this corridor is uninteresting, but it does lead up to a sort of hatch in a floor, which the jailer opens, and you step out into a cacophony of noise, just a fantastically loud, bustling inn, a tavern, because all the best adventures start in a tavern or immediately underneath one. So you follow the jailer up into the main bar area, which I have a map for here. Oh, that was not the right button. I have a map for here, and he explains to you one more time what the situation is. So just out of RP for a second, when we are currently preparing to release the hardback version of Adventuring with Pride, and the next page of the adventure is the only page we currently have printed in high quality. So I have a delightful picture of a bar and the duties that you'll be undertaking from now.
As well as the map on the back.
Oh yeah, and a picture of the map, the same map that's on the screen there on the back. Okay, so I will explain this to you now, but obviously if you can't remember or whatever, then just check with me again, and I'll happily update you again. So each of you three are going to need to perform your duties at regular intervals. If you do not complete your tasks, then you will receive some unpleasant side effects from your collars, let's say. The tasks that you have are as follows. So Vicki, Jakub, you've been hired as the entertainment. So occasionally you're going to need to climb on stage and entertain using a standard check of some kind that of your choice. Bear's duties: if you Bear, you're going to be working behind the bar, of course, as a bartender, and you'll need to serve drinks occasionally, but Bear does not just serve drinks, because serving drinks is part of the entertainment here too. So you're going to need to make some kind of interesting or exciting drinks. So juggle glasses, mix cocktails, that sort of thing. On a now and again you need to do this. And Mirabelle is of noble background, so Mirabelle's job is to mingle with the patrons, make sure they're all happy, and try and convince them that they're having a good time, essentially. So with the standard kind of charismatic approach. So you can do these things now and again. If you take too long between attempting them, you will receive some motivating effects from your collars. And in between, you are welcome to try and figure out what's going on in the Enchanted Woods Inn. So, around you there are a large number of people who you can talk to, and you can investigate whatever, the standard D&D things that you would do in a tavern. So take it away, folks.
Mika will move to situate himself behind the bar,
Mm-hmm.
try and familiarise himself with all the various drinks and things on availability,
Mm-hmm.
and then set to work, trying to sort of pay an eye to the patrons and anything they're saying or doing, trying to spot anyone else with a collar like ours.
Cool. So you do not. Can you roll a investigation check for me, please?
Investigation.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's not the most intelligent bloke. That 2.
Oof.
A flat 2.
Oh, sorry, no, 4. It's a +1, not a -1.
Okay. Yeah. So Bear does not notice very much. But at the very least, he notices that nobody else is wearing an enormous metal collar, at least as far as he can see from the bar. But this place is pretty packed, so how far you can see from the bar is not very far indeed.
I'm going to start flowing through the crowd gently, looking at the clientele, trying to check if anyone's trying to catch my eye, stuff like that, while I have a look at the general demeanour of the crowd here.
Okay, so as you're walking through the crowd, you almost bump into a young-looking halfling. She's got brown hair and braids, and she's wearing upper-class clothes, somewhat similar to yours, actually.
Oh, hello. And what brings you here today?
Oh, hello. Merriment, enjoyment. What brings anyone to a place like the Enchanted Woods? I've come here. I've laid down my life of being the world's famous cheesemongerer, and now I'm here to enjoy life. The stress, the kind of keeping track of everything, that's all gone now. All I need is the Enchanted Woods and the Queen.
Right, lovely.
You also notice that this halfling has a rather ornate signet ring on their ring finger.
I wish her a pleasant stay and continue on.
You too.
Keeping a vague eye of where she's heading, of course.
Mm-hmm. Vicki, would you like to take the reins?
Yes, sorry. Ring.
The reins, I said, sorry.
Yes, sorry. So Vicki, as per her job description, is going to, lift one heavy leg up, clamber herself up onto a table. It probably groans a little underneath her weight, but she doesn't care. And then she's going to begin with a performance check, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Roll on.
Oh boy. Theoretically, I'm good at these.
Yes. What's Vicky's modifier for performance checks?
+7.
+7.
And with my 9, that will bring it to a 16.
Fantastic. So you pass the check. So people start to notice you. They're clapping. They're really enjoying what you're laying down. And that counts as your duty for the time being. So you've got a bit of time to go and look around and do other things in the meantime.
Brilliant. Whilst I am performing, I will also try to see if there's anything odd going on with the patrons, or anybody that's watching me. Are they paying less attention to me than they should be?
Okay. Yeah. I guess roll a perception check then for that.
Boy. That's a +0.
A what +0? Sorry. 3.
Well, my thing is +0, so I got 3.
Okay, you don't see it. you were too engaged in your dancing. I mean, everybody else is, so you might as well get on it too. Yeah, you don't learn any useful information, I'm afraid. Okay. So somebody walks up to the bar, Mika.
Hello there. What can I get you?
Yes, hello. My name's Sparrow. Hi. I love the Queen, just absolutely love her.
Oh, don't we all?
I am one of her biggest fans, yeah. Can I get a pint of your famous White Dragon cocktail, please?
A pint of cocktail?
Yes. It's been a long day.
Cocktail, my friend. That's a very big cocktail. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to sort of reach under the bar, pulls out a cocktail tumbler, shakes his head, puts it back, brings out a bigger one, brings out an even bigger one. It's about the size of it's about the same size as Hammer normally is. This is big enough for you.
Yeah, that should do. That should do it.
All right. Well, let me just. He starts doing it. He's trying to be a bit comical about it. I guess that's the theme I'm now going for. Getting as bigger ice cubes or whatever he can, and liberally pouring things in with a bit of a juggling aspect to it, and then actually setting about juggling the cocktail shaker itself.
Oh Jesus! Watch out!
Fantastic.
Along with the glass.
Do you want to?
Probably a mug at that point, a pint.
Which would that? I suppose you would be rolling a sleight of hand check there.
Is it sleight of hand or is it something strength based? I feel like
It's up to you. Which one would you rather go for?
I would rather something. You could go strength based sleight of hand, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
Bollocks! Drop my die. Off to a great start. Oh. So that's a natural 2, making for a 4.
A 4.
Jesus Christ!
I feel like this is setting a trend for tonight. Most of my first 2 rolls have been below 5.
So
we just lost them.
Somebody's dropped out of the call, but let's keep going for now.
Thomas has been having some issues.
Okay. So that's a failure. So unfortunately, not only but you picked such a hefty amount of material there that you simply did not have the strength behind you to throw it up. So unfortunately, you are going to receive a fairly unfortunate debuff as all of the things you were juggling smash on the floor, and for just a second, the entire bar goes deathly silent.
Oh, bugger.
Vicki is going to loudly shout something and then perform her world famous belly flop table break maneuver. To distract attention away from Mika's unfortunate accident.
So you do a good job of distracting, but unfortunately the collar is arcane and it does not listen to drag queens, however effective they are. So I have just rolled on the discipline table, Bear, and
There's a discipline table.
Yes, there is. And somebody has come up to you and they've got a little device in their hand that seems to have responded to your collar, and they give you a potion and say, "Drink this."
I'm not 100% sure I want to.
It's not optional.
I don't normally drink when I'm doing the tending. It's against bartending rules.
He's going to press a button on the little device he's holding, and you're going to take 1d4 lightning damage from your collar.
Oh dear.
That's a 3, so you've taken 3 lightning damage. For what it's worth, I think Mika has health in the 20s or 30s?
He had 34, which has now gone down to 31.
Right. Great.
The man also...
Okay, drinking the potion, the potion.
Good job.
Okay, you drink the potion of compliance, and you now have disadvantage on any wisdom-based rolls until the next time you perform your duty.
Disadvantage on what based rolls?
Wisdom-based rolls.
That sucks. That's his best stat.
Yeah, but it's only until you next perform your duty, so probably not too distressing. Mirabelle, you can feel your collar warming slightly.
So as I'm walking around, I head to a table and try and strike up conversation with them.
Okay, and you meet there's a human sitting at that table. His eyes, as you walk up to him, you notice his eyes are faintly glazed over, and actually you've seen the same look in many of the patrons as you've been wandering through the crowd. So they've got a slightly faint look in their eye. So this human's he's sort of middle-aged. He's got dark black sideburns, but no hair on the top of his head. He's wearing sort of standard commoner's clothing.
What do you want?
Oh, I trust you're having fun today.
Yeah, I am. What's it to you?
I'm here to make sure that every client of the Queen is having the best possible time.
Well,
If there's anything I can do to help that, please let me know.
I'd have a better time if you just left me alone. I'm enjoying myself. I like being by myself.
Very well. And I move to the next table and try again.
So you feel, as you start to walk away, you feel your collar warming a lot, and there are very slight sparks starting to appear on it.
Oh, okay. Are you quite sure there's nothing I can do for you, sir? There are several services we can provide here.
I know of your services. I've been here a long time. I'm fine. Just let me have my drink.
Can you roll a perception check for me?
My perception is... Sorry, +3, so that's 10.
10, fantastic. So you notice that in front of him are a couple of different documents. So there's a flyer, sort of a single-sided A5 size flyer, and also just a white piece of paper with handwritten text on it.
Can I read what either of them say?
If you looked over his shoulder, you could, but from where you are, it's upside down.
I'm going to lean over as if jovially to try and get a closer look at the paper while still blathering on to him about how much we can help.
Okay. In that case, can you roll a persuasion check for me to
Yes, I can.
try and convince him that you're on his side?
That's 17.
Fantastic. Right. Yeah. So he's perfectly happy to have you on side. So the two pieces of paper, one of which is a flyer for the Enchanted Woods. So there's a picture of a tavern, which you presume is where you currently are. It's not a building that you've seen before. And it says, "Come to the Enchanted Woods, fun friends, etc." That's actually what it says. It says fun, friends, etc. And and the other piece of paper reads as follows:
Dear Burnsworth, we heard about your encounter with one of our patrons. We would like to extend an invitation to the Enchanted Inn. Everyone from all walks of life is welcome in the woods. And signed off with the Queen.
Lovely.
Yeah. So it looks like this guy, who you assume is Burnsworth, has in fact been invited here.
What brought you here? Did you say? Sorry.
Well, everyone comes here for the same reason. They wanna be here. They
need companionship.
Yeah, they need a place to feel safe, and that's why I came here. There's not much to my story outside of that. Why, you ask?
I'd like to get to know my clients to see how best we can help them. So you've been coming here for a long time? Or is this
well, I came here 2 months ago, and haven't left since. Been quite happy.
Glad you're enjoying our services.
And when he says that, you notice that the front door of this place, the door that you would assume is the front door based on the standard geography of the inside of a tavern, it has two very heavily armoured guards standing right in front of it.
Right, okay.
Perfectly normal for a tavern.
Yeah, well, maybe a tavern in, like, Peckham.
Are you quite sure there's nothing we can do for you today?
Look, I came here to get away from what happened. I don't need to be pestered by... I'm fine.
You can see that the glow, the sort of glazed over expression that he has is sort of fading slightly, and he's blinking and coming back to what you might call the real world. But he takes a long swig from the flagon that he's got sitting on the table, and it reappears, and he loses his train of thought.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So there's something strange going on here. You can't get out of the bar because it seems to be guarded.
Yeah.
Presumably nobody else has left either. This guy said he's been here for 2 months.
Hear a lawnmower in the background.
No, I think we're all right. I don't think we can hear a lawnmower.
We're fine.
That's good news.
Out of character, I was going to say it pretty much seems like they're being mind controlled to be here.
I think, yes.
In a drink. We've already heard the words potion of compliance. Which makes me wonder. Speaking of which, if that little segment's over with, can I give a chance for Mika to redeem himself?
Yes, absolutely.
Right, ladies and gents, he's going to look around to people at the bar. Sorry about that, a little bit of an accident. How about instead we have a bit of a fun time, shall we? He's going to pull out a saucer from somewhere under the bar, put a bit of water in it, and place it on the bar. Then grabs a shot glass, fills it with some sort of liquor, and sets it on fire, and places another shot glass next to the saucer. Anyone who can fill this glass with all the water in the saucer without touching the saucer wins the drink. Any takers?
So the person who originally came up to you and asked for the pint, he seems less glazed over than anybody else. In fact, if you look closely, it seems like he's not got a glazed over expression at all. And yeah, he says, "Yeah, I'll give it a go. Why not?"
All right, you know the rules. Just get all the water into the glass without touching the saucer.
Okay, let's cracks his fingers. Like, let's do this. So water into there. And he stops for a moment and sort of just looks blankly at this as he slowly starts to realise he has no idea what to do. And he's like, "So I can't touch the saucer,
Nope.
correct?
Can't move it.
Can't move it."
Can't move the saucer. Should have said that. I apologise.
Ah,
Hey, there is a solution. I promise you this.
there is a solution. So I can't move the saucer, and I need to get the water from the saucer into the shot glass.
Yeah, you can move a glass. You can't move the saucer.
Could I perhaps get someone else to move the saucer?
Nope.
At that point he sort of looks defeated. He's like, "How do I get? Can I borrow a straw, my good sir?"
Ooh, does straws exist?
That's a great question.
That he's asking, probably.
I'm afraid I'm a little bit new to the bar here. I don't think we got any here. I promise you that wasn't the solution I was talking about.
He looks defeated.
Yeah, he's like, "Fine, show me the trick."
All right then. He takes the glass of the alcohol which he had set on fire, pours the liquid into the other one, then turns the shot glass upside down on the saucer. The water then moves up inside it because it was heated up. Physics.
Oh, a fancy man, clever. You have my applause. Mika, was it?
Mika, call me Bear. Well, everyone does.
Bear. No, I colour me impressed, Bear. It's been a while since someone's managed to pull one over on me.
He winks at you and says, he takes from his pocket a hip flask and says, "To the Queen," and raises it, and all across the bar, every single person except for the three of you and Sparrow respond, "To the Queen," and raise their flagons and drink from them all at once.
To the Queen.
To the Queen.
Well, under my breath, I'm going to say that there's only one real queen around here.
So Vicki, I suppose it's your turn in a sense.
Did that count as fulfilling my thing?
Yes, I'm going to count that as an automatic success because it was very impressive.
Well, we did have that little note about some individual named L. that'd probably be more of a Mirabelle thing to sort out. So I think Vicki is just going to continue providing a distraction of a sort, whilst
Okay.
How are you going to go about providing the distraction?
I do want to see if any of my spells be helpful in getting a message to Mira. In that case, as Vicki is sort of like moving through, shuffling past to get to another table or something, she's going to lean into Mirabelle's ear and whisper, "Look for that L."
I'm trying.
And then she's going to hop onto the bar, grab a drink from Mika, down it, and then raise it to the height of the sky and say, "To the
What drink did you grab?
whatever's closest."
Okay, you grab a flagon off the desk, which is the same as the other flagons that people have, and you need to roll a DC 13 Wisdom check for me.
Oh
Oh
dear.
shit!
Yeah.
Stick to the water, definitely.
Or the pints of cocktail?
15.
Okay, you pass. So for a very brief flash, an image appears in your mind of a beautiful woman in a golden flowing gown. But you shake your head and the image passes.
Ooh, I think these drinks are a bit stronger than I imagined. Well, and then she's going to do another perform check in order to basically start strutting up and down the bar, knocking over, flagons and glasses. Doing that sort of typical runaway style.
Mm-hmm.
More sales, more better.
Yes, that's it from me. Hopefully, Mika and Mirabelle can do useful things.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll on.
You need to roll a performance check.
Yeah, please.
Right. That is a 22.
Okay. In fact, you succeed. Not only do you succeed, but you succeed with such flying colours that that Bear and Mirabelle can probably get away with most things for a short while. As people are enraptured by your incredible bar top performance.
Take it away, my children. My job here is...
Well, Vicki, after your performance, a tiefling with purple hair, sort of starstruck, comes up to you after your performance, and she addresses herself as Orfina Regalia, who is a lifelong fan of Vicki Mockery, and she actually came. The sole reason she came to the Enchanted Woods is because she knew that you would be performing, because you've been advertised as future entertainment for a while now, and she wants to. She gives you a gift, a nicely wrapped, very big shoebox, and hands you this gift. And she said that she made it with her own hands, she just admires you and everything you stand for.
I'm going to flip open the shoebox.
Okay, so inside the shoebox you see a beautiful pair of ruby slippers, perfectly sized for for larger feet like yourself, which Ophelia handcrafted. Each diamond, each jewel, hand placed with loving care.
And you get the impression that if you click the heels together 3 times, something will happen.
Right, so Vicky's going to say, "Oh, these are just wonderful. You didn't have to. You are just a star." She's going to lean in, grab her. Is it her?
Yeah.
Her head, pull her forward and plant a nice rough big smooch on her forehead, probably leaving a lipstick mark the size of her entire forehead, before quickly doing her old shoes and putting on these slippers and giving it an old triple click.
Okay. So you click the heels together, and Bear and Mirabelle, you hear a bizarre pair of sounds. So from two ends of the room, you hear loud pops, kind of like a, and Vicki spontaneously disappears from one end of the room and appears in the other end of the room.
Ooh.
So she disappears from one end and enters the other side?
She just, she disapparates from where she was and reappears at the other end of the room.
Okay, so
Nice.
I'm going to try to say, ladies and gentlemen, Vicki, mockery! And while he's doing it, just try and look around for anyone who wouldn't be clapping or doesn't look impressed.
So the only person matching that description is the halfling that has been standing by the bar with you for a while.
Which was that? The halfling Mirabelle? No.
This is Sparrow, one who failed your game.
Yeah, he failed your game and asks for a pint of cocktail, which you were unable to provide.
And is now currently drenched in cocktail from when you dropped the pint of cocktail on the bar in front of him.
I'll sort of side ask him, is the entertainment normally this good at this place?
The Enchanted Woods is renowned for its entertainment. You know, every few months we have a new local celebrity, I guess is the term, and you know.
How long have you been?
Local.
Sparrow says that. He says his name first, and then says that he's feeling a bit tired. He's been here a while, and he's feeling a bit tired, and he's going to go upstairs to rest.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You get the feeling that Sparrow knows slightly more than he's letting on, though.
Oh, really? The night's only just started.
Got just too tired. I'm going to be upstairs in my room for the rest of the evening. I bid you good day, Bear.
Oh, good day to you, Mr. Sparrow.
Can you roll an insight check for me?
Do I have disadvantage?
It's insight wisdom.
You've done your duties since then, so you're cleared of your mind fog.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's a nat one.
Oh dear.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so you do not get any reads on this guy whatsoever.
I don't know what it is about this. I haven't used this dice set in a while. Maybe it doesn't like me.
Vicki and Mirabelle, assuming you're paying attention to the room, you see that this halfling who's been standing by Bear looks. He goes upstairs and then looks around, catches all three of yours eye, and then walks up to the second floor of this building. Mika doesn't spot that because it's too busy polishing
Vicki
glasses.
is going to climb onto our other table, say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for having you. Are all just wonderful, but the Queen needs to go take a short beauty break. I'll be back with you before you know it. And she's going to blow kisses to everybody and then scamper off upstairs behind the hearth.
When you say the Queen, everybody else in the room says the Queen and raises their glasses and takes a big swig. So as soon as you said the Queen, they thought you were referring to the Queen and not yourself.
I'm just going to throw the halfling anyway.
Okay. Do any of the other two want to follow?
I will do one quick thing.
Yep.
While there was all the chaos with Vicki, I would quite like to have tracked down the halfling I talked to and take a quick sneaky look at their signet ring.
Okay.
Just to see what's on it before I follow up.
So
silently.
Yeah. So the signet ring is a silver ring, kind of big, garish. It has the symbol of a block of cheese on it, presumably related to his cheesemongering days.
Yeah, and I carry on past upstairs without mentioning anything.
Considering my complete failure at insight, and it'd be a bit obvious if I left the bar, wouldn't it? Is there anyone else working the bar?
Yes, there are other people working with. At this time, between your between your shifts, you can explore the Enchanted Woods as it were.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd probably say to one that I need to clean off some of this stuff before it starts stinking.
You are drenched in White Dragon cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And try and follow then.
Okay. So the three of you make your ways upstairs. So there are no guards at the bottom of the stairs, so this is uncontroversial and nobody seems to mind whether people are downstairs or upstairs. Upstairs is where people who stay in the inn, which as far as you can tell is everybody, sleeps and relaxes away from the music and the merriment of downstairs. At the top
Lots of beds, then, presumably.
Yes, exactly. I've swapped out the downstairs map for the upstairs map. You'll notice that the layout is similar. Most of the rooms have double beds. There is a third floor, but you can't get up there because there is a guard at the bottom of those stairs. So some patrons have taken up residence in sort of a central area of this floor, and they're talking and downing yet more of the inn's special brew as they chat.
Did any of us see which way the halfling sparrow ducked in?
The thing about halflings is that they can be nimble when they want to be, and Sparrow was able to hie off into one of these rooms, but you do not yet know which one.
I'm gonna move around like I'm supposed to be there and listening to the clientele to hear what they're trying to talk about.
Okay, so the clientele that are in the middle of the room, around the clustered around the sort of tables and chairs and sofas. Can you roll either a perception or investigation? Your choice.
That'll be a perception. That's an 11.
Okay, so you get closer to some of the patrons that are here. You see that their eyes are, if anything, more glazed over than the people downstairs, and as you listen to the conversation you notice that all they're really saying is the Queen and then taking a swig, and then the other says the Queen and takes a swig, and this repeats as they go round.
I wasn't expecting psychological horror today.
Assessing their current state, not to be particularly bothered about their surroundings. I'm going to see how they react to me standing by one of the doors and seeing if I can hear through it, just sort of casually, sneakily, if you like.
Okay, you don't hear anything through that one door.
Righto. I'm going to gently and move around the doors, not at a fast pace, so there may be speed for other people to take actions while I do so, but I'll be working round the doors as if
Yeah, sure.
I'm supposed to be there.
Vicki or Bear, do either of you want to give something a go? Try and figure out where...
Does the guard at the bottom of the stairs, do his eyes look at all glazed over?
Hard to tell, but no more than anybody downstairs, I'll say that.
Okay.
Vicki is literally going to start like throwing open doors and peering inside to see if she can spot the halfling. If anybody tries to, get in the way of that, she's going to give them some, catty back talk.
Okay, yeah. So the... can you see the map?
Yes.
So, Mirabelle, which of the doors were you listening at to start with?
I probably started at the one bottom right. And
Okay.
then moving anti-clockwise.
Sure. And Vicki?
Let's start at like top middle, the two ones at the top, and
Yeah.
then start moving clockwise from there.
Clockwise.
We're going to
so
bump into each other.
Counterclockwise.
Okay. So,
I was thinking left, but
yeah. Okay, so by the time you reach the westernmost room, which is the largest room on this floor, you notice that the door is it's slightly different to the other 4 doors on this floor in that it seems to have been slowly reinforced over time. It seems to have metal reinforcements across it. And your attempt to simply knock the door open, as you did with the others, does not succeed.
well, then Vicki is going to pull her dress up, give a pound on her belly and try to just shoulder bar.
Okay, well, I'm really glad that I wrote that into the adventure then, that might happen. Please roll a strength check, naked strength check.
14.
It's a DC 15 check. You bounce off the door,
Dang.
and you take 1 bludgeoning damage.
By this point, I've probably got next to her, them, and I say, "Why don't you try knocking?"
Knocking.
I don't think we thought of that. We're not quite as subtle as you are.
Do you want to try knocking, Mirabelle?
Yeah.
I have a feeling they've noticed already.
So once you've done the traditional free knock, you hear kind of muffled noises from behind the door, and then someone come up to the door and say, "Truly sorry, I'm resting. Please come back later."
And it is the voice of
Yes.
Bear. You recognise the voice of Sparrow from downstairs.
We just want to have a wee talk.
And Sparrow then replies with, "Come back later, please. Not right now. Busy."
You're welcome to make a persuasion check at this point, Bear, if you and you can if you want to try and base it on some of the conversations you had downstairs, then you might have more luck.
Well, I want to give you a chance to apologise for spoiling your drink earlier. Goes against my honour as a bartender, you know.
Spoiling it is slightly an understatement.
Okay, roll with advantage, Bear. Charisma persuasion check.
Because the roll on that die was a 2.
Oof.
God, I can't roll above 5. Well, that's a natural 10, which with charisma I think is a -1, so that's a 9.
Okay, that's a second failure.
Yeah. Actually, no, I've got a +1. It's an 11.
Okay, not too bad then.
Still a failure.
Mirabelle, I believe that you used to be a thief in a past life. This is me as a DM talking.
I know my way around the shadier sides of the law, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
That may well be true. Not that my parents approved.
Oh, I can't remember. Do you have thieves' tools on your sheet?
I can't see them.
They should be there.
Okay,
Right.
that's good.
no,
I'll make a note to put those on before we get those printed.
Live beta testing. Brilliant.
Oh, yes.
If I've got thieves' tools, I might see if I can jimmy the lock a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The guard at the other end is not really paying enough attention to be concerned about.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're just out of view if he's on the stairs.
Yeah, exactly.
What skill would this be using, sorry?
Dexterity with proficiency. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 22.
And that is a pass, yes. And the door swings open within 3 or 4 seconds. It's very effective lockpicking.
Both worth a chain.
And there's nobody in the room.
Well, that's a neat trick.
And here was me thinking I was the one doing tricks on him tonight.
You all walk in, and the door closes behind you, and behind the door is Sparrow.
Aha!
Hello, sir.
Well, hello to the few of you.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, it's fine. Trust me, I've been expecting this. And at this point, he sort of takes off a disguise, sort of fake nose, beard, to reveal, Another halfling, but a different looking halfling.
Well, why do you bother with the disguise? You look much better without it.
Oh, thank you. Well, hello there. I best introduce myself. I am Letholdrus. I founded the Enchanted Woods many years ago. I assume you got my note and my ring?
That we did.
Ah, good.
A little more explanation might have been appreciated.
Didn't have much time to write, you know. Well, so I guess you need some need some backstory, I guess. So I am the pioneer, the father of the Enchanted Woods Inn. The Enchanted Woods was supposed to be a place of safety, a place where anyone of any ilk can come and have a refuge, a place to meet fellow like-minded people, outcasts, and share stories and make friends. But that all changed. Thank you. That's why I did it. But the Queen, after the first, came with her champions, and she occupied the Enchanted Woods by force and has turned into something it never was meant to be. She has corrupted it, and she uses it to drain the people in here of their money and their own will. I assume you might have noticed something about the drinks. Have you
noticed something off about them?
Yes. Oh yes, I had one of them. They're very strong.
Yes, they are potent, to say the least. Well, people who are more weak-willed will consume this potion and become obsessed with the Queen, refusing to leave. Well, some people have been here 4-5 months, not sleeping, just drinking and toasting to the Queen and to her beauty.
I do notice that they're big fans of her everywhere.
Yes, How
did we get here?
The Queen.
Contract.
The Queen has ways of getting new volunteers, I believe you're called in. I unfortunately, thankfully, I'm not too privy on the way that happens. I just every couple of weeks, the old lot of staff leave in quotation marks, and new people join. Once I found out what the Queen was doing, I came back to the Enchanted Woods to try and restore it back to what it was supposed to be, and if I can't do that, I'll have to unfortunately destroy it and build anew.
Well, look, I don't think we need to resort to such drastic measures. Yet, we can help you. You've got the premier drag queen of the realm by your side. We can take on anything, I assure you.
Yes, I've heard of you, Vicki. Many people downstairs believe there was a very nice tiefling who basically spoke about you for about 2 weeks straight about how excited they were to finally meet you. So
that the same tiefling that gave me the shoes.
Yes, she mentioned something about handcrafting gigantic shoes, and they look fabulous on you.
Yeah, she's so good to lift her leg up and say, "Oh, you mean those ones? Oh, they're just wonderful. That goes such a sweetheart."
Well,
very good color.
Yes, but the thing is with the way this place works is that they trick fans, people who want to see people like yourself, Vicki, and trick them using your likeness on advertisements to draw them in, and then once they get the taste of the Queen's special brew, they never leave.
Oh, like Vicky's gonna frown and say, "Well, that just won't do, will it? All those poor souls wanting to see me, they ended up trapped in this place. We're gonna have to sort this Queen out. Do you know where we can find her? As a matter of fact, do you know where they keep our, armaments?
Well,
I'd like to ask her a few questions if you get my."
So Letholdrus says, first things first, and he points at the 3 collars that you're still wearing, and you see that they're starting to heat up and spark. because it's been a while since you've performed your duties. Litholdus says that he can get the collars off you so long as you agree to help him take down the nefarious queen.
Absolutely.
We do that where we're not even collared. This is an abominable situation.
Okay, so Litholdus reaches into his breeches and pulls out a device very similar to the one that Bear saw downstairs. And he opens... he turns the device over and flicks a small button lever thing on the back, and the 3 collars that you're wearing disintegrate. So they don't just fall off, they actively disappear.
Oh, that's better.
And unfortunately, though, Litholdus, when he closed the door behind you, did not lock the door. And within 10 seconds, the door handle turns and the door barges open. And stepping through are 3 of the heavily armored, beweaponed champions of the Queen. So the guardsmen of the enchanted.
Vicki is going to turn around at shock and she's just like, "Do you mind?"
It's a private party, I'm afraid you weren't invited.
They sort of look past you, sort of their eyes properly glazed over, but you can tell they're fixed on Litholdus. And they said in a very deadpan, sort of robotic voice, "The Queen gave you a bed, shelter, and a sense of belonging. You dare conspire behind her back. You'll face the punishment only fit for a traitor of the Queen."
No. Conspire. You dare even think that we would conspire against the Queen. Listen here. We are doing our utmost best to provide some of the guests with some private entertainment, and you just barge in here like it's anybody's business and ruin the entire show. Do you know what this is going to do for my reputation? Do you know what this is going to do for this place's reputation? Are you not ashamed of yourselves, young gentlemen? Or ladies, or other?
The champions react not at all to your outburst. In fact, the front man draws a longsword, and before he has time to attack you, Litholdus gets your attention and says, "Here," and points at the wall, where resting up against the wall is a enormous ornate battle axe, a large ironwood hammer, and a fancy rapier / longsword.
I felt positively naked without that. I reached to grasp my rapier.
So you are now beweaponed, and
Queen Gaga, I've missed you so much.
if I might ask you to roll initiative. Oh yeah, we've lost Thomas temporarily.
He's back.
Welcome back.
I rolled good.
15.
If we've got the choice of spending time going for weapons, could I cast a spell instead?
Sorry,
yes.
Just dropped out. So what did I miss?
Rolling for initiative.
Lovely.
If I've got the time, I'd like to cast Entangle on their bit of the room.
Okay.
Actually, no, the entire room. It's just enemies in the area.
Let's get initiatives first, just to make things easier. Vicki? Hello?
Jacob?
Sorry, I did say 15.
Oh, 15, right. Yeah. Bear?
Also 15.
Okay, who's got higher dexterity? Probably Bear?
+0.
Oh. Probably Vicki then.
Cool.
And
And
Mirabelle?
I got 10.
10. Okay, so all 3 of you go before any of the 3 champions that have come into the room.
Cool. So, is it me first?
Yes, go right ahead.
Cool. So, assuming I have Queen Gaga with me now, I'm going to swing around, and because I'm trying to knock these guards out as opposed to kill them, I'm going to give one of them a smack right on the head with the the sort of flat part, the part that has the big.
Yep. Okay. If you could, for the sake of the stream, read out the actual mechanics of the attack.
Yes. So it is. I'm attacking with my great axe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1d20 plus 5. That is an 11 in total.
Okay.
Does that hit?
Oh,
I assume not.
11. Yeah, an 11 is a miss, unfortunately.
Yes.
Well, as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a bonus action, I'm going to look to Mirabelle and say, "Go! I just wanted to say you are the most sharply dressed lass I have seen on this side of Rome. You look gorgeous." And I'm going to give her bardic inspiration.
Why, thank you, dear.
Okay, so the bardic inspiration that you give will allow you to add a D6 to any roll that you make. D20 roll that you make.
Yeah.
And you can use that at any time.
Yep, and that's going to be it for my turn.
Okay. Bear, did you say you want to use Entangle now?
I thought I was managing to do that before combat.
Sorry, let's assume that you picked up your weapon for the sake of keeping things simple.
Okay. I guess I'll cast Entangle then as my main action.
Okay.
Which I believe basically means all the wood in the floor and that sort of thing starts coming to life and grabbing at their feet. All the enemies in the area need to make a strength save or be restrained.
Okay, I'm just rolling strength saves. So 2 are restrained. So the one at the front and the one on the right, if you imagine they're in a sort of V-shaped formation. So the middle and right ones are entangled for the time being, and they will not be able to move on their turn.
Lovely. I am then, as bonus action, he's going to go down onto all fours and partway through some yelling, which turns into a roar as he shifts into a large, shaggy brown bear.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
So you're now a bear. You've used your wild shape, and
Yep.
that is the end of your turn, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic.
He'll try and stand in front of the halfling, if that works.
Yep.
You feel great, Alex.
So I think it's me now.
Yes.
I, with cutlass in hand, leap forward to the unrestrained person and go, "Get back out of here, you nasty man!" And give him what for.
Okay.
So that's attack with a scimitar, which is 1d20 plus 5, which is an 11. I'm going to add my bardic inspiration to that now because I quite like to hit.
Yep. The AC is 12, so you do.
Yeah. Which then does 1d6 plus 3 damage. That's 5 plus 3 is 8. So that's 8 damage.
Lovely.
And then again, I have on a bonus action attack again with my scimitar.
Yep.
Which that's 15, so that hits. And then I rolled a 4. So that's another 7 damage, I think.
Oh, were you rolling with advantage, by the way?
No.
You, depending which one you were attacking, they're entangled. So
I was attacking the unentangled ones. So.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
So, yeah, that one's looking worse for wear, but still standing.
And again, moving back to sort of create a barrier around the halfling.
Sure, yeah. So, yeah, you can't get all the way back to the halfling because this is a fairly large room and you had to walk through a bit of weeds to get to the...
Yeah.
But you get a decent way back. You're not adjacent anymore. Although if you're moving away from... from the leftmost one, then you will take an opportunity attack.
Not directly moving away from them, but trying to get between them and the halfling.
Oh, sure.
So just angling yourself.
Progressing.
Okay.
That's fine. Cool. Okay, so it's the champions' turns now. if you could just remind me, entangle means that they can make a check at the start of their turn to break
I'm
out,
afraid
right?
it doesn't say on my sheet.
Okay.
I think it's the end of your turn. Let me check.
I can check on.
It was a task to fit everything on the sheet, I have to say.
It uses its action.
Yes.
Okay, so the one at the front is in fact going to use their action to try and break free. They do not succeed, so they're still trying to pull their legs free.
Whoa.
And yeah, it doesn't do anything with their bonus action. The second one is the unrestrained one on the left, who is next to you, Mirabelle. And deciding not to risk taking an opportunity attack, they're going to just wail back on you. So they're going to make a longsword attack. That is a 21, which I'm going to guess hits.
Yes.
And that's going to
Definitely.
do 1d8 plus 1. That's a d8. That's 2 damage.
Ooh.
Lovely.
He tickles you with a longsword.
Indeed.
And the rightmost one is also going to try and free themselves, and they do succeed at that. So
I've got one.
they do not have a bonus action though, so they're just going to move out of the area. So the three champions have had their turn. Litholdus does not have a weapon and is just going to sort of keep himself safe. Which takes us back to the top of the order. Vicki.
Brilliant. Vicki is going to walk up to one of the ones that is restrained.
Mm-hmm.
There's only
and-
one left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's going to give him a smack with her axe.
Cool. Another great axe attack.
Oh, no, that one's not going to do it. That's a 8.
No, it will not hit, I'm afraid.
Do I get advantage if it's restrained or something?
Oh, you do,
Yeah,
yes.
you do, yes.
Oh, cool. So that means I get to roll again, and if it's high, I get to use that one instead. That's a 14.
That will hit.
Brilliant. It's 1d12. I love a d12.
It's an underrated dice.
Very
1d12 plus 3. That's a total of 10 damage.
Very nice. Yep. Still standing, I'm afraid. But looking a bit worse for wear.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, they're pretty hench.
Not called champions for a reason.
Yep.
I
Bear
believe it's
in bear
Mika's
form.
turn.
Yes.
But it's going to go, oh! And go for the restrained one. With his bite attack first.
Yep.
Again, advantage. That's 2. It's not great. That's a 13.
That'll
hits.
pass, yep.
13. So that's a d8 plus 4 piercing damage, I think. Oh, that's max damage. 12.
Wow. Yep, that will do the trick. Still standing just about.
Okay, then. In which case, he's going to get swiped with the claws.
Swipe or no swiping.
Bites at him and then swipes at him with a big pawed hand. I think that's a 20-something to hit.
That will hit. Yep.
That's 2d6 plus 4 damage. Lovely.
Yeah, claws are good.
I've never played a druid before. That's 11 damage.
Okay, so the one at the front, still restrained, never actually got a chance to do anything, as is often the way. Falls to his knees and then to the floor. He's unresponsive.
Bear will give a triumphant roar.
Noted. Mirabelle.
I think that comes to me. I'm going to try and finish off the knave that is currently attacking me.
Mm-hmm.
That's an at 1, so that's only 6, which does not hit.
Okay.
And then on my bonus action, I'm going to try again. That's a 22, so that does
That's a hit.
which does 7 damage.
Okay. Still just about conscious.
That's my turn.
Okay. So the first one at the front of the pack has died. The second one is the one that you just attacked, Mirabelle, and is going to return in kind. This is a longsword attack. That is a 18 to hit.
That hits.
Cool. And we're going to do 1d8 plus 1 slashing. No, it's a two-handed weapon, so it's 1d10 plus 1. Using it as a two-handed weapon. That's 9 plus 1, so 10 damage.
Oof. Lovely. That takes me down to 10.
Ooh.
I forgot I'm the only one who's not squishy.
Yeah. Well, Vicky's got a decent hit point pool, I think. But Mika's definitely the least squishy.
I also just realised I messed up my hit points and I was taking my hit points from my bear form. Just change that back to where it should be.
And then there's a third guard.
Yes, the third guard will free themselves. No, they have freed themselves.
They've already freed themselves.
So
They're next to Mika, I believe.
are they? Who are they next to? They're not next to Mika. Mika's.
Oh, then it's next to Vicki.
Vicky's just finished off one, so I think they're not next to anybody.
Oh.
I think they backed off at the end
I'm
of last
probably
turn.
closest considering I'm a large creature.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of difficult to miss a bear.
Yeah. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to get up close to Vicki and use their longsword.
It is difficult terrain if they're far enough away for that to matter.
No, it's a big room, but it's not quite that big. They can get at least one direction. So yeah. So Vicki, that's a 17 to hit.
That will hit. My AC is only 13.
Okay, and that's a d10. So that's 4 damage.
Rude.
Cool.
Now it's your go again.
Yep.
Well, Mirabelle doesn't seem to be having that good of. So I'll use my first level spell slot in order to throw a healing word her way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say, hey, it's okay. Things will get better another day. Yay. I'll just roll my dice.
You do also have the ring of slight healing.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Sorry?
Oh, yeah.
You've also got the ring.
Yeah, I do.
It does
1d2.
Yeah.
That's 6 hit points in total.
Lovely.
Okay, so you're
And
back up to
then-
16.
I'm going to do what Vicki does best and give those ruffians some of Queen Gaga's love.
Uh-huh.
Especially to the one that Vicky's... not Vicki. Mirabelle's currently fighting. The one that's in...
Yep.
Isn't there one currently attacking you?
There
It
is
is
one
there.
adjacent to you, Vicki. There are 2 left.
Will I take an attack of opportunity from him if I try to move up to the one that's next
Yes.
to Mirabelle?
Yeah.
In that case, I'm just going to attack my one.
Okay.
That is an 11. So
11 will not hit.
that's me.
Okay. Bear.
Rawr.
Seeing Mirabelle vaguely in trouble, he's going to try and move for the one attacking her if possible.
Yep.
And just attempt to wail on him like he did the previous one.
Cool. Bite and then claws, or just claws, up to you.
Bite and claw.
Cool.
That's a 4 plus 5. That's a 9. That's not going to hit anything.
Nope.
Let's go for the claws. That's a 12.
That'll hit.
Yep.
That's another 8 plus 4 damage. 12 damage.
Okay, so the
Hits in with his mouth and misses, but managed to get a backhand.
yeah, so the champion that was next to Mirabelle, you hit him with the backswing of your claw and send them absolutely flying, and they land on the floor, crumpled in a heap.
And he'll sort of stand slightly protectively in the direction of Mirabelle to the remaining champion.
Okay. Speaking of Mirabelle, it is your turn.
I'm somewhat going to ignore his productivity and going to move to flank the one next to Jakub and trap him between me and Jakub and give him what for.
That's very on brand for Mirabelle. Not one to be protected.
Howdy ho.
Would you stay down? So that's 17, so that hits and does 6 damage.
Okay, still up.
And on a second attack, that's a 18, which hits and does 4 damage.
Okay, so 10 total damage. Still looking alright, not too unhealthy. And
This is his go.
yeah, it is now his go, and as you might expect, he's going to retaliate in kind. So, actually no, because he's adjacent to both you and Mirabelle, Vicki is going to go for Vicki. So, Vicki, you are hit by a 12. Does 12 hit?
Just about no.
Ah, you're alright then. But yeah, it was a two-handed attack, so he's not going to make a second attack. So he's looking pretty cowardly, and is tempted. It looks like he's eyeing up the door as if he was going to run away.
I think we'll be having words with you, sir.
Back to the top of the order, Vicki.
The one that's eyeing the door, I'm going to try to give him another...
Love tap?
Yeah, though... Actually, I'm quite tempted to... no, let's do this. I'm going to use hideous laughter on him.
Oh yeah.
So he has to make a wisdom save, and if he fails, he falls over laughing and cannot take actions for 1 minute.
Okay. Wisdom save. Wisdom. Oh dear, they're not very wise.
Given the amount of potion they'll have been imbibing, I can't imagine they're in a
Exactly.
good shape.
So that's an 11.
Weak willed.
That fails. He falls over laughing. Thank you very much.
So yes, in spite of his clear nerves and concern, he is actually just going to fall over in fits of unavoidable, compulsive laughter.
Cool. In that case, that's... Yeah, that...
Okay, so you're welcome to... we can probably exit rounds now because there's only one person left, and for the foreseeable future he's giggling on the floor. So you're welcome to... You're welcome to finish him off in any way you see fit, or render him unconscious, or tie him up, or etc. It's up to you. We're out of turn order now.
Mika, while still in bear form, will sort of try to look at people questioningly.
I think I shake my head at Bear and don't do anything more.
Okay, he's just going to sit on him.
Okay.
Well, in bear form.
Yes!
Good lord.
Might crush him, Jesus.
He's got a breastplate or whatever it was. Be fine.
Chainmail is not resistant.
The bear sitting.
It's not bear-proofed.
Mika doesn't know them too well. He doesn't wear metal armor.
He's going to make a Constitution save. That is a 3. So he's going to take 1 bludgeoning damage, and that renders him unconscious.
Oh,
He
I
sat
think
on
it may
him.
have went a little bit too hard on him, Mika dear.
He sort of head tilts to the side slightly.
Aw.
Cocks his head.
Have you ever sat on someone so hard they went unconscious?
Yes.
If Mika was able to talk, I'd probably say yes.
I think Vicki would also agree.
Okay, so Litholdus is grateful for your assistance in the fight. He thanks you for what he's done, for what you've done, and he rummages through some papers, what look like blueprints that he's got on his desk.
Yes. If I recall correctly, thank you. You know, who would have known what happened if they actually would have got their hands on me? Me and the Queen don't have let's just say a good relationship. But let's just go through some papers. If I recall correctly, there's a hidden passage behind the bar. If you could, and I believe that passage leads to where the Queen is hiding. So maybe if you could cause a distraction downstairs, you might be able to slip unnoticed into the back passage.
Oh, I think my friend here is quite capable of causing a distraction to enter back passages.
Okay, so this is effectively the halfway point. So if we're just going to take a 5-minute pause now, just so that people can, have a vocal break and get a cup of water or something.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay here, and then Jack will take over from me in a second. So
Yes.
We'll be back in just 5 minutes, so at 22, to continue.
Let me know what you're thinking of the stream.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. Thank you all for donating.
Please keep those donations coming.
Yep, it's all good to a good cause. I'm gonna go get a couple.
Keep the donos coming.
Yeah.
Torture Finbar and Thomas with the replaying.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the alerts for now, so if you want to donate now, it's the perfect time. I wonder if we can up our donation goal to, like...
I think Aries made the page, so I'll have to ask them. Might have been Finbar.
Yeah, because we're sitting pretty on 111% and hopefully rising in the very near future. So I think we're pretty much on track in terms of time. So I was hoping that we would get to this point around about halfway through the stream, and we are pretty much halfway through the stream now. So that's good going.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes different.
Yeah.
And we can run into the break a little bit if needs be.
Yeah.
In fact, if Anakin or whoever's running it might appreciate it. Having to fill half an hour can be a little bit difficult.
Yes. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So, what are we up to? Yes. So thank you so far to Benjamin for the highest donation amount so far of 40 complete pounds, as well as James open brackets come to lump close brackets for £30 and the $25 from Holly. It's really appreciated. Stonewall does some fantastic work for LGBT people in need and raising awareness of ongoing problems that they face. So thank you for your donations. It really is going to do a lot of good for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tap it back in.
Cool. And I will do the opposite.
Okay, I'm back. Hello.
I love the flag behind you, by the way.
Thank you. That was a very last-minute addition to the setup. It's held together with parcel tape.
You say that. For the past year when I've been at my student accommodation, I was holding up blackout curtains with 2 Ethernet cables.
Honestly, that's a valid thing to do. Blackout curtains are a lifesaver.
Yeah, they really are. And I was on the street side as well.
Oof. No, we're nocturnal people. We're awake during the night, so having like the being able to sleep during the day is perfect for us. But yeah.
I wish I could. But yeah.
So how are you finding the first half of this so far?
I'm finding it interesting. I was slightly wondering whether or not this has got a Fey bent, but I don't know if that's spoilers. Because when you're talking about the Queen and having enchanted people, that immediately makes me think of the Feywild. Well, not the Feywild, the Fey in general. But that might be because I've run campaigns set there.
Well, the mystery of the Queen will be revealed soon.
Sorry.
Thankfully, but so what do you think is the kind of the overarching? What do you think is happening?
Well, we've got the classic thing of a space which is supposed to be free and open to people, which has been co-opted. I think I can see a little bit of a theme there.
Yeah, there's don't say a lot of there's a lot of commentary on various things throughout this.
The cynical side of me was almost not wanting to trust this halfling without making any insight checks and that sort of thing. But on the other hand, this is a 3-hour stream, so
Yeah, that's understandable.
without having too much stuff. Also, I feel like Mika's a bit trusting.
Yes, Mika's sort of very eager to believe people and sort of trusting and sort of kind of a bit, don't want to say a bit like, oh, thank you for the donation, bisexual disaster of £40.
Thank you very much.
I think that gets a new record. It does.
It does, yes.
1 pence.
Oh, it's £40 and 1p.
Yeah, Benji, you've been knocked off the top slot.
Yes, you're no longer there. Oh, thank you, Alex. Yes, as Alex said, the money is going to Stonewall, which is that's a charity I personally work close with, because half of the money from Adventure of Pride goes to Stonewall and also Rainbow Railroad. So it goes to a really good cause. And Alex is now back.
I've got my headphones on.
2.6 challenge. We're not the only ones pulling off this stuff. The general idea, I think, is related to just anything to do with 2.6. So whether that's 26 hours of streaming like us, or running 2.6 miles, or whatever else. There's lots of fundraising efforts going on related to this. So do check it out on their website, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, John. So for some reason the ticker is not updated for us. It still says £290 instead of the updated. I'm just going to quickly switch and then see if it'll reload it. It did not.
Gone dark.
Yeah, for some reason the ticker hasn't updated for me.
That's weird.
Yeah, not sure what that's about.
It has updated via the donations, which is... Oh, it's up
There
there.
we go. I've updated it. Cool. Not sure what that was about.
£330.75.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to Bisexual Disaster for your incredible donation. That's going to do a lot of good.
And that name is such a mood.
Okay, so let's just do a quick recap for the sake of people who joined partway through. So we've got... actually, do you guys want to try and recap so that I can see where we're at?
So we woke up having been volunteered for this interesting job at a bar. They tried to encourage us using these interesting stone iron collars. Not entirely enjoying the conditions and pay we were getting, we decided to break out of this indentured servitude with the help of the original proprietor, who you can see on the screen now. We've just defended him from mortal attack, and we're now about to head towards the head honcho of this scam.
The dastardly queen.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yes, so the patrons, from what you experienced at least, seem whenever they drink the drink, they get this vision of the beautiful woman who you can assume is the queen with the long, flowing golden gown, and they end up in a sort of blind, unknowing adoration. And with a bit of luck and skill, hopefully you can restore the Enchanted Woods to its former glory. Okay, so Litholdus said just before we cut that he seems to remember from the blueprints of the bar that there is a hidden passage down the back behind the bar, and that's where he believes the queen is hiding. So what we need to do now, or what you need to do now, I should say, is to concoct a plan that will draw the champions downstairs away from the bar so that you can get access. So I implore you to discuss between yourselves what might work as a strategy.
I guess at this point, Mika will shift out of bear form. 'Cause it's not particularly helpful.
Distractions are kind of my thing.
Being in bear form downstairs might draw attention to what's going on.
Yeah, it would. If needs be, I can make a fire or something, but I wouldn't want to hurt the patrons. I mean,
Oh no! I think I can. I can get a distraction figured out just fine. And she gives.
Bumblebee.
A bumblebee.
Someone's suggesting a kazoo on Flight of the Bumblebee. I'm sorry, I should.
Oh, that would do the trick.
Oh,
that might just kill Finbar and Thomas.
Also that.
I'm going to donate some money and get Flight of the Bumblebee on the Kazugo.
Fantastic. Okay, Vicki, you reckon you can put something forward that will distract people?
I'm sure she's done an admirable job up till now.
Okay.
I might be able to tell some of the people behind the bar that everyone up here needs a couple more drinks.
Yeah.
Maybe get people out from there so we can get into wherever this passage is.
It's a good shout. Okay. In that case...
Well, it sounds like a plan, or at least a snifter
Are
of
there
one.
any empty mugs in the communal area outside this room?
Yeah, plenty.
I'm going to try and gather up as many as I can, preferably on a tray or something, to make it look like I'm sort of doing my job or whatever.
That's a good shout.
Yes, at this point you're no longer duty bound.
Yeah.
But if you want to still kind of blend in, you want to maybe continue doing your duties, or at least appear to be doing your duties.
So Litholdus tells you that because he's now out of his disguise, and unfortunately his disguise got trampled during the onset of people, and is sort of a bit bloodstained now. He's not going to be able to join you downstairs, but he will be listening out for any issues, and if things break really bad, then he'll come and join you. But he's not going to risk blowing his cover in front of everybody else. And
That's entirely understandable.
If you hear me roar, then something's happened.
Okay.
makes sense.
You can roar loud. So.
In that case, maybe it's time to rock on down.
I think so.
Yep.
Okay. So you leave Litholdus's room, closing the door in such a way that anybody who was outside is not going to know that there's 3 unconscious or dead bodies in there. Thankfully, his door is quite thick and well reinforced, so and the sounds from downstairs seem to have muffled the fight noises that were up here.
Actually, hang on. Before
So
we
kind
go
of the
downstairs,
guards to think about shutting the door behind them.
Are you
Isn't it?
still in Mirabelle?
Pardon?
Are you? I noticed you took a couple of hits. Either you injured?
No, I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
I'm
Are you sure you don't?
okay-ish.
I know how to take care of myself. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for your concern.
No worries.
Lad, trust me, drag knights down in the capital are way worse than this.
Then. I got the magic, and I'd like to use it for a good reason.
Sure, there'll be plenty of good reasons to come.
Aye. He sort of drew across a flower to stick in his hair. And then we'll go downstairs. Sorry, shouldn't have interrupted.
No, it's fine. We're all good. So you go downstairs, and things are much as you left them, except there are maybe 1 or 2 fewer guards in this room than there were before. Presumably, some of them were alerted to what had happened to your collars in Litholdus' room. So, but the patrons are still somewhere between merry and half glazed over. So they don't react to the 3 of you walking down the stairs 20 minutes after you went up or anything like that.
Are
What
any
do
of
you...
the guards looking at us as we come downstairs?
Pardon?
Are any of the guards sort of paying attention to us as we come downstairs?
The 2 guards that were over by the front door still are by the front door, and they eye you coming down the stairs. Other people are just scanning across the room.
I'm going to continue to meander through the tables in the general direction of the bar like I was doing when I was on duty.
Okay, that's probably a good shout. It will stop people getting suspicious straight away. So, you meander and you get lost in the crowd as you always would.
I'm gonna go behind the bar and place down the tray of mugs and stuff on it, and say to the other people behind it, "Right, you lot, we've got a lot of patrons upstairs who are getting empty drinks. Better refill them and get someone to pull this upstairs. The establishment we run in here."
Yep. So one of the two people behind the bar, other than yourself, nods and grabs just two massive fistfuls of these flagons and totteringly brings them up the stairs, leaving yourself and one other bartender.
That done, I might try and while they're distracted doing that, I might try and have a look for the secret door.
Okay, so passive perception alone is not enough to reveal the entrance.
Do I need to make an active perception check or investigation?
Yeah, whichever of those you think is more appropriate.
I probably prefer perception, in the way he's sort of trying to glance around rather than press over the
Yeah,
things.
makes
Trying
sense.
to look for stuff. With his years of history behind bars, he's trying to look for anything out of place.
That's a good point, actually, and that's good enough to have advantage on this roll, because if anybody would know what's behind a bar, it's Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you gave me advantage, because that first roll was a 4.
Jesus.
I can't roll well tonight.
Oof, yeah.
And that's a 9 plus 3, so that's 12.
Okay, so you don't spot immediately what might be out of place. So nothing that is behind the bar is where it would not normally be, and vice versa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Pass over to the others then.
Okay.
I will have. Sorry, lost my train of thought.
That's fine.
Would you sort of try and investigate the bar? You've been the most successful with that at the moment.
Highest roller.
I would probably come up to the bar, and while under the pretense of fetching drinks for a couple of people at the tables, try and have a careful look at the back wall of the bar to see if I can see any signs on the floor of things that might be regularly scraping, for example.
Okay, that's probably detailed enough to warrant an investigation check, I'd say.
Okay. That's not going to pass. That was a nat 3,
Oof.
which goes to 5.
Yeah.
It's the bar area. That's what it is.
It's Unfortunately, the bar area is well travelled, and a lot of the ground is scratched up.
So I'm going to not blow my cover, pick up the drinks and take them off towards tables where I can see empty.
Okay, yeah, that's perfectly reasonable and does not draw any attention to you. As a member of the ex-nobility, you're quite good at getting by without people sort of, turning heads. Vicki, would you like to try anything,
Yes.
or are you gonna? Are you planning on unleashing your distraction once you found the way out?
Yes, Vicki will, get up onto a table again and, start doing a little song and a dance as per,
Yeah.
Vicki standards, trying to get everybody's heads to turn to.
Yeah.
That is a 22.
A 22 performance.
Yes, in total.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you have the patrons are all eyes fixed on you.
Yep.
You have the attention of the room.
And even the champions who are over by the door and originally clocked you as you walked down are clapping along.
Good. And whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to, every now and again give pointed looks to Mika and Mirabelle to, do the thing that we're supposed to.
Yeah, I'm going to throw away any attempt at secrecy, basically. Just try and look around for the door, like pressing up against the wall.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I assume our bartender is also distracted by the performance as well.
Yeah.
That happen, I pick up a cloth off the bar and throw it towards him to give him a plausible excuse in case they look round. and
Good
help
idea.
him mop up a drink, quote unquote.
Okay, in that case, what we'll do is we'll call that an aid. So, Bear, if you want to roll investigation again, you'll have advantage.
Investigation. Why can't I roll? God's sake. That was a 4 and a 6.
Oh,
Jesus.
I can't roll. I'm so sorry.
It might be time to retire that D20.
I'll have to move over to the other side of the room and get a different set. Hang on.
Send it to
These
dice
ones go
jail.
to jail. Yeah.
That's definitely dice jail worthy, isn't it? Okay. So unsuccessful, unfortunately. So we still have not found the entrance. At this point, I'm starting to think you might be looking at the wrong end of the bar. Mirabelle, if you're still behind the bar, Vicky's performance gives you enough time to have a look yourself.
I get another roll.
Yeah, you can have another roll.
Please roll good.
I have a new die.
Let's Sigma hack this rolling challenge. Get it.
Can I get a lucky blow over the mic from people hundreds of miles away? For God's sake, that's a 5.
Oh,
Jesus.
I'm not making this up. Unless there's still an advantage.
there's no advantage on that one, unfortunately.
Oh dear.
Mirabelle, you're welcome to have a look yourself.
I'm gonna continue having a look.
You notice that Bear is in fact just turning on the spot, not
Not looking, just going around in circles.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's check
Right,
one
that's a
square
20.
foot. Okay, a nat 20 or a 2020?
A 20, not that.
Okay, in that case, you lean down to look under. I don't know quite how to describe it. Where the mini fridges would be in a real pub.
Yeah.
And you notice that instead of a cupboard there, it's a very, very deep cupboard. It's a cupboard that keeps on going for at least into the darkness. So you've in fact found the hatch that leads behind the bar.
Quickly nudge Bear and try and indicate to him that he needs to get Vicki to step up their game and cause the most ruckus they possibly can.
Okay.
The most suitable way of doing that. Is that just for signaling them, or
Yeah.
just trying to give them something to help?
Yeah, the guards are still paying attention to Vicki, so you can probably be fairly,
In which case, I'm going to
unsubtle.
slip down there into the cupboard.
Okay, you're now in the cupboard. It's not a cupboard though; it is a tunnel. It's low and it's dark, and you can't quite see where you're going. But because you're an elf, you have dark vision. Because everybody in this game has dark vision except for humans, and
Dragonborn.
and
I think half-orcs don't either.
oh really?
Yeah, half-orcs have dark vision.
Okay, in that case, one of the three of you won't be able to see where you're going. But Mirabelle, you can, and the cavern is it's low but wide, so it's 15 foot wide after the cupboard, and you can just keep walking, and it's very slowly sloping down.
At some point, I'm going to pause and hope that my compatriots catch up to me.
Okay, compatriots.
Ooh, I'm trying to think of a good way to make a distraction to get Vicki away from where they're making a distraction down here. How lethal is poison spray, and how obvious is it?
It makes a noise, I think. I think it's verbal, at least.
Are there any animals in the room?
There is. So among patriots, there is not so much an animal, but a spirit animal from one of the patrons. A sort of panther in form, sort of at the heel of one of the patrons watching Vicky's performance.
A spirit animal.
Yes, a panther to be precise.
Are they still physical?
Yes,
Yeah, it's corporeal.
yes. That's what I was looking for. Couldn't think of it.
Okay. I'm going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Noticed over the ruckus.
Amazingly, we did actually write down what happens if you use speak with animals on that animal.
So organised.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna try and talk to them.
Okay.
Persuade them to do something obvious.
Well, what are you going to try? What are you going to say to them?
Hello there. I don't know if you'd notice, but that person over in the corner over there was plotting to kill the guy you're standing next to.
And the panther sort of perks up its ears and sort of like turns to look at the first confused where the voice is coming from, but looked at the two guards, which you
He also
pointed
called
out.
you an overgrown house cat.
Now it's gotten quite angry, and it's sort of, even though it's quite an intelligent creature, it sort of it's going. It's already starting to make its attempt to go at the guard, much to the his owners, I guess, dismay.
Yep. And the owner is slightly glazed over, so not entirely aware of what's going on and a bit slow to react. And the panther leaps at one of the guards by the front door. Is that who you were going for?
Yes, the two guards.
Yes.
Yeah, leaps at the guards by the front door who draw their weapons and draw the attention of many people surrounding as the panther roars.
Okay. I look up and give a sort of look to Vicki, beckon with my head a little bit, and then slip behind the bar.
Vicky's going to. No, the problem is now that everybody's attention is on me, I can't really slip behind the bar.
That was the
So
reason
I'm just
for the
doing-
panther.
No one's looking at you now. Everyone's looking at the now panther attack.
So in that case, I'm going to quickly slip by. Yep.
Thank you very much for watching. Good night.
Yeah, and it seems like things are starting to happen because not only because in defense of his panther, the owner of the spirit panther also rushes over to the guards, and the guards draw over more guards, who then barge through the crowd and start distracting people sufficiently to give you time to drop.
So does that manage to get all three of us down there safe?
Yes, Vicki, you will just about be able to fit.
Tight squeeze.
Nice.
Yeah.
Don't go first.
Trying to shove them down a bit.
Yeah, a bit of dexterity will see you through. So you make it through under the bar, and you close the door behind you. Do you want to make any efforts to try and seal it to prevent people following, or?
Does it
not have a lock?
It does not have a lock on the inside because that's an unusual place to put a lock on a cupboard.
Does it still look like it could be opened from the inside if we close it?
Yeah, you can just push it. It opens outwards.
Okay, I'll try and close it then.
Sure.
Probably.
You have some like standard rope and stuff, so you bind the inside of the cupboard in a way that looks like it might hold. It's hard to tell.
Make a roll for this.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Roll intelligence and to figure out if you know how you would
Survival?
survival. That's a good shout. Yeah.
That's a good one. Right, gold die. For God's sake, this is my third dice of the night. That's a 6.
Okay. There is now some rope near the cupboard door.
I've gone through 3 dice, 3d20.
Oh dear! It's the universe giving you a sign. It's got to
They're all
be.
metal. They're not weighted.
Oh dear. Right. Well, as far as you know, the door is well sealed now. So,
Okay, sealed the door.
okay, and you collectively travel down through the tunnel, which very gradually gets taller until it's tall enough for Vicki to be able to stand, and you know, like upright, that is, and you notice that it's it's curving slightly to the left the entire time, so it seems to be almost travelling sort of in a helix downwards.
Spiraliform.
Yes. So yeah, it's 15 foot wide, so there's plenty of room for the three of you, and at this point it's tall enough to stand in. And it goes from being rough hewn and sort of a mixture of sand and compacted soil to being more like ornately carved stone as you get further down, until you reach a 15-foot square room.
So as we're travelling,
Yeah.
I'm going to take the opportunity to put 5 points of lay on hands on myself.
Very wise. Very wise.
I do love fatigue.
I've got my own healing. Save your healing for when we need it.
Fair enough. It's not as versatile as yours. I'm down to 2 spell slots.
Okay, so you are now in a... Well, you have reached the end of the tunnel, and you're in a 15-foot square room which has stone flagged floor and stone walls. What do you do?
Anything special about any of the walls? Anything visible?
A door, maybe?
Roll perception. You can all roll perception.
No, see, me and rolling today is not going.
Yes.
As I speak, that's a 5.
11.
Okay, 13 is enough. So on the wall to your right, there is something different to the other walls. So the other 2 walls are fairly boring stone. The third is, you notice that embedded into the stone is the shape of an archway.
Right. I think I'm going to walk over to the archway and investigate it, perhaps by giving it a push.
Okay, you push the stone... Well, do you push the stone inside of the archway or the archway itself?
Inside the archway.
Okay, so you press the stone inside of the archway, and appearing into... onto the stone, sort of hologram style, if you like, is a 3x3 grid. And in the grid are 9 symbols, and you will need to have a look at the stream now to see what those are. That's
Stream lag ...
Yeah, I know I've been buffering a bit because I'm on countryside internet.
sure.
I was also really tempted to see
Aha.
a stone cunning check there, just because you never get to make stone.
Yeah, I always try to throw in a stone cunning, and if this had gone a slightly different, I think in the book,
we have it written if Bear wants to use his stone cunning.
yeah. So we did write it.
Cheat though.
Yeah, no, it might not have been.
It's not normally worthwhile.
Exactly. Yeah. We wrote it in just on the off chance that somebody knows about it and wanted to give it a go.
That looks like a chess piece, which looks like the queen to me.
It looks like a queen,
A
which
bed,
would be appropriate.
a wagon, a spoon,
A
lipstick.
lipstick?
It looks like lipstick.
It is a
Yeah.
lipstick.
Yeah.
Apologies for my drawing.
A ring
A mug.
and a crown.
So above the 9 panels are 4 small orbs. Not above each one, above the whole lot. There's just a row of 4 orbs.
Right. What was the name? It was the Enchanted Woods.
Yeah.
Somewhere the Queen. Is there anything written anywhere? Or
There is nothing written anywhere.
If I touch the chess piece queen, does one of the orbs light up?
Yes, it lights up green.
The ring?
Is it any specific one? Is it the first or is it?
Did you say the ring?
Yeah.
So you press the ring, and the first green light goes black again, and you take 1d3 lightning damage. I'll call it 1d4 for the sake of having a 1d4 around. Oh, I need to roll 1d4. Sorry, I forgot how D&D works then. Oh, 1. All right, you take 1 lightning damage.
Lovely. So that shows us what a right answer and a wrong answer does.
How would you want to proceed now?
Hmm.
We're going down to the queen in her lair, so maybe the bed could be appropriate.
Starting with the queen seems like a safe option, as it didn't electrocute me.
Okay. So you press the queen and the green orb lights up again. Sorry, the orb lights up again in green.
You can have queen bees.
That's true.
You can have queen-size beds.
Hide.
Hmm.
I'm gonna press the bed.
You can push the bed piece.
You press the bed and a second green orb lights up. A second orb lights up green.
I'm gonna try pressing the bee.
You press the B and a third orb lights up.
Right, we need another thing that can be a queen.
The crown.
Yeah, the crown in the bottom.
I'm stepping back if he presses the
Bottom
crown.
right. Yeah.
I'm gonna press the crown.
You press the crown and the fourth orb lights up, and the entire stone facade melts away to leave an archway, which then leads into...
Thank you very much, Anonymous.
Thank you very much, Anonymous, for your £10 donation.
Oh, yes, thank you. I missed that one.
Yep, we appreciate it. It's going to good causes. Okay, so you have successfully passed the queen puzzle. I'm very impressed how quickly you identified the queen-size bed, I have to say.
That took me forever.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, there is an archway in front of you.
I think we probably look through it and then head through it if we don't see anything immediately hostile.
Okay. On the other side of the archway, as you look through it, is a large, cavernous, and ornately decorated room, in complete contrast to the sort of dingy stone cavern where you're currently standing.
A place fit for a queen.
You might say.
I guess we'll head on through.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you step through and you notice that there are beautiful artworks of a woman, and you identify that the woman in the artworks is the same as the woman you saw briefly in the vision bear.
That wasn't me. That was
Vicki, yeah.
Vicki, apologies.
I don't touch the alcohol while I'm working.
Very wise. So you, as you walk through this ornately decorated room, it's almost like a drawing room of a manor house or something. And you walk through, and at the other end of the room is a large red studded leather throne.
Yes.
And as you get closer, you realise the throne is not actually empty. It's just that the creature or character inside of the throne is so small that it appears empty until you get close enough. So you get to within about 15 feet of the throne, and in the throne you see this character who will appear on the stream shortly.
Oh.
Why, hello there, Queenie. It's good to see your real form.
Oh, wow, that's a form.
I can't see the character, but yeah, I'll refresh my screen.
Yeah. It's a fairly kind of semi-hideous goblin she's holding a glass of blood red wine, and she also has a leather whip on their lap, which glows faintly along the handle of the whip.
So you'd be the bloody queen then?
I'm doing the voice of the queen, apparently, so that's lovely.
I've decided that now.
Wow, I fancy seeing you three here. When I invited you along, I didn't really mean in my quarters. You're supposed to be looking after the riffraff. The guests.
Well, you see, when you grab people against their will, they're not very likely to do what you're asking of them.
Oh, did you say grabbing people against their will? And she jumps off of the throne and brandishes the whip and cracks it towards you, and you are immediately entangled in thick leather straps.
Ooh,
Vicky is
sad.
going
I
to
enjoy this occasionally, but I'll be quite honest, you're not my type.
Vicky is going to take a step forward, if that's okay. And go, starting forward, and she's going to look this goblin, I think, this trainer. She's going to say, "All right, listen here, you half-bit, good-for-nothing little gremlin."
While Jakub's verbally assaulting the queen, I'm going to help John out of his gear.
Okay, yeah. Roll a... Ooh. If you
Strength.
want to aid,
Roll with advantage.
then you can roll with
Yeah.
advantage, yeah.
Yeah, strength.
Strength.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm going 2 dice. Hang on.
Being a queen is not
That's
just
unnatural
about...
20.
Oh, natural 20. That's
Nat 20, okay, yeah.
Unnatural.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you can, with effort, remove the things from yourself, and they retract back into the whip. Meanwhile, Vicky?
Listen here, you half-bit, good-for-nothing little gremlin. Being a queen is not just about putting on some nice hair and some lipstick and thinking you're the best around. It is a mindset. It is going out to the people and bring them joy. It is interacting. It is spreading love. You do no such thing. You dare use my likeliness to bring people under this mockery of an establishment which is supposed to be a safe space, and you turned into some kind of worship cult. Listen here, gal, I'm gonna set you real straight, or my name isn't Vicki Mockery, and I'm gonna cast vicious mockery on her.
That is
Okay.
one powerful vicious mockery you've sent her away.
Okay, you cast
I
Vicious
only
Mockery.
just got the vicious Vicky thing. That's a good part.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
She has to make her wisdom save.
wisdom save. Oh, that is a pass. I'm assuming a 19's a pass.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, so she is unaffected. Well, is it half or is it 0?
I think it's 0 because it's only a cantrip.
Yeah,
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so she takes 0 damage for the time being. But that was very vicious. I mean, even if her brain isn't hurt, her feelings are. So
Shade thrown.
she is happy to answer any questions you have. You don't suppose you have any questions for me? People often do.
Whether you're willing to pack up and get out would be one of my starting ones, I think.
Well, here's the thing. There's people in this world who are treated unfairly, with no place to go. Poor unfortunate souls. I wanted to create a place where you're welcomed. Everybody's welcome here, of course. Say that ungrateful halfling, the Tholdus, for example. I know he's here. I've seen him around. Did he tell you how I ended up in charge of this place? Did he?
No, he did.
I bet he did. The Enchanted was going under, mountains of debt. Little old Letty couldn't run a bath, let alone a business. I saved this place, and you want to take it away from me? I've given so many people a home, and all I want in return is their complete and utter devotion. Is that so wrong?
Aye.
When you're
I'd say
choosing to enslave people, aye.
Well, darlings, this Enchanted Woods is under new management, and you prepare to be managed. And she whips the whip again at Vicky this time.
The one right in front of her.
Yes, and Vicky, you are entangled again. In the say again.
Why, you little?
And as you as the whip cracks and you find yourself entangled, from behind you enters the jailer, who we saw at the beginning. And he asks, "What's going on here then?" Oh no! And he brandishes his halberd.
I think what's going on now is what's known technically as a hostile takeover.
I'd have called
Nice.
it a revolution myself.
Okay, so roll initiative.
It's a 10.
That's 22.
Oh wow.
16.
Okay, hold on. So we have 10, 22, 16, and Bear.
Mine was a 10.
Oh, you both rolled a 10. Again? Cool. And then...
There was 10, 22, and 16.
Oh, I wrote 10 twice. My mistake.
Jesus.
Wow, Bear and Bear both got a 10. What are the chances? So
High
I
roll.
need, I'm
Bear
just...
will be turning into a bear very soon.
He'd be quite happy to take 2 turns if you want to give him that.
Yeah.
So we've got Bear, we've got 22 for Mirabelle and 16 for Vicki, and the jailer rolls a 12. Okay, fantastic. So, just to reiterate the state of affairs, the Queen is in front of you, the jailer is behind you, and Vicki is entangled in the same manner as everybody else has been entangled previously. So, Mirabelle, it's your go first with a 22.
Right. I think I'm going to bless my companions,
Oh,
me and my other 2 people. The foul treatment of this business has riled Mirabelle up rather, and she's going to use that rilement to channel her pride towards this blessing.
very nice. So, what does Bless do for the sake of our viewers?
3 creatures within 30 foot can add 1d4 to attacks and saves for 1 minute.
Fantastic. So,
I believe that can include yourself as well.
yeah. So the 3 of you can add 1d4 to any rolls you make, which might take Bear's rolls from absolute failures to likely failures.
I was okay in combat.
You were okay in combat, yes. Okay, fantastic. So that's an action, isn't it?
Yes.
And I'm going to move behind Bear,
Okay,
and that's my turn.
cool. Vicki.
Cool. Well, Vicki is entangled, and she's not having any of that from this particular specimen, so she is going to attempt to break the entanglement.
Okay, that's a strength check.
12.
12 will not do it, I'm afraid.
That's it from me.
Okay.
Whip damaging their dress at all?
Say it again?
Is the rather nasty looking whip damaging their dress at all?
No, thankfully it's actually, if you look closely, it's bound exactly around their hands and legs,
Hogtied.
if you like. Okay, yeah, Vicki, you're still entangled and stuck in place. Although, yeah, I don't think you can take actions. It's written down in the DM tools.
Bonus action, so you can probably inspire if you want to.
Yeah, that's true. You can do that. Yeah, you just can't do things that require like motion.
Sure, I'm going to go to Mirabelle, and I'm going to turn. Actually, I'm going to turn to Bear and say, "Han, that trick with the bear, totally amazing. You know, you could absolutely wow a stage with that. Having
The bear has bardic inspiration now.
Okay, yeah, Bear, you have the opportunity to use a bardic inspiration. I think that means you have 2, or how many?
one.
One.
I got one earlier and used it.
Oh, cool, brilliant, fantastic. So it is now the jailer's turn. So the jailer is going to come up behind. Which of you is at the back? Vicky's at the front.
So
Mirabelle's at the back.
it's Vicki, me, and then
Bear's at the back.
Oh,
I
Bear's at the back.
moved to be in between the two people.
Okay, so Bear, you are going to take a hit from a halberd at range. So he's not going to be within 5 foot of you, but he's going to be within 10 foot of you, and he's going to deal 1d10 slashing damage. If he hits, which he does, presumably. What's your to hit?
11.
Okay, yeah, this was a 12, so that's fine. I seem to remember your AC is quite low when you're outside of bear form.
It's the same in bear form.
Yeah, it's the same in bear form.
I use bark.
Oh, yeah. Oh, bark skin, of course, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so you're going to take 1d10 plus 2, which is this one. That's 5 damage.
Bear sort of grimaces, but just sort of looks at the guy. It's like, oh, yeah, bugger. I'm going to get you for that.
Yeah, and he doesn't do anything with his bonus action this time, so it is your turn, Bear.
Bear will, as previously given encouragement to, leap forwards at the guy with the halberd, seeing as the bigger threat.
Mm-hmm.
Transforming into a bear past the way down, slamming into the rock with a much heavier form, and swipe at the guy with claws going with golden light, I suppose.
Yeah.
I need to grab a D4 from somewhere. Let's grab a gold one.
Very nice.
That's a natural one. Even if I were to use inspiration, I think that would still also fail.
Yeah, it's a fail. Yeah.
So his bite completely misses as he slips on the floor, which is wetter than he expected. Let's go for the other gold dice. And he's then going to try and get on the backside of his claws, which is a much better hit, as that's 12 plus 1 plus 5. Yeah, so that's 18 to hit.
Yeah, that will definitely hit. Yeah. His AC is going to be 16 because he's fairly well armoured.
Dealing 9 slashing damage.
Okay, 9 taken. It is now cool, and it is the Queen's turn. Okay, so the Queen has you currently trapped in the whip, Vicki, and she's going to use this to her advantage. So she's got the whip in one hand, and with the other hand, she's going to stab you with a dagger.
Ow.
Yes, it's going to be a bit of an ow because it's got advantage, because you are entangled. And wow, a 1 and a 10, so that is 13? 13.
Taking some bear's luck.
Yeah. So a dagger is d4 plus 2 here, I think. So, bonk. 4 damage.
Ow.
And she's not going to use her bonus action. Oh no, she is, yes. Because she is a goblin, and goblins have nimble escape, which means they can disengage or hide as a bonus action. So, actually, she can't hide because she's attached to you. And she can't disengage because she's attached to you, so she's fine. Yeah. That's going to be the Queen's turn, taking us back to the top of the order with Mirabelle.
I'm going to dash forward to the jailer, trying to get within striking range. I don't think I actually need to dash per se, but move forward.
Yeah.
And then give him what for with my scimitars.
Okay, yep, roll on.
So the first one is only a 6,
No,
plus
wait,
5
no.
is 11, so that's no.
No.
And then the second swipe,
Don't forget your D4.
I'm using it, is not enough either.
Okay.
So that doesn't hit either.
So you swipe at thin air, unfortunately, yeah. Despite being on home turf in an ornately decorated manor, it's not doing you any favours to be back at home. So the jailer goes unattacked, or at least unhit. Vicki.
I'm gonna try doing the thing again where I try to break the grapple.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me use another dice because that one just fell somewhere.
Sure.
That's a 14.
Yes, that will do it. You are
Brilliant.
unrestrained. and I'll give you an opportunity to do something on this turn as well.
Well, that was my action, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you got a bonus action if you want one.
Yeah. I think I'll leave it for now.
Okay, sure.
No, actually, I'm going to turn to Mirabelle. I'm going to use my last inspiration to tell her that she's a wonderful lass and she appreciates Vicki appreciates the little time they spent together.
Oh, thank you, Darwin.
So you have a 1d4 to use on any roll. Any d20 roll. Nice. Do you want to move anywhere, Vicki, or disengage from...
I'm going to move up to the Goblin Queen.
Okay, yeah, you're in close quarters anyway, so that's no problem. Right, Jailer's turn. He's going to turn to... he's going to turn to Bear, and again at 10 foot distance, he's going to attack with his halberd.
He hasn't got distance. He's currently engaged with me.
Oh, what, at 0 range?
Yes.
Oh, in that case...
I melee him.
Right, in that case, I guess he'll
Mirabelle.
disengage. Oh, both. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so he's just going to attack you at 0 range then. At point blank. He's going to give you a hit over the head with a halberd, hopefully. And that is a 12.
That will hit.
Okay, and it's D10. Oh, that's a 10. Okay, so 10 plus 2, did I say? Yeah. So 12 damage.
He just sort of roars in the guy's face. It's once actually reaching nearly face height, perhaps, in a bear. Depends how tall the guy is.
He's medium height humanoid, so close.
Yeah.
Okay, Jailer's turn over. Bear.
Bear has just been hit in the head, so he's going to express his displeasure. And go for that, Jailer. That's an 18 plus mods to hit.
That'll hit.
A bite attack,
Mm-hmm.
which is the first time I've hit with a bite. That's 5 plus 4, that's 9 damage. And then we'll sweep back in with his claws. That's 13 plus 5 is another 18 to
That
hit.
just hits. Is 18 AC. No, sorry, 16 AC.
16.
It definitely hits. Sorry.
And that's max damage.
Ooh.
That's 16 damage.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's 16 on top of the previous lot. So if I'm calculating correctly, he's taken 34 so
24
far.
damage.
Very nice.
24 last turn and I think 9 last turn.
Fantastic. Right. So
How's he looking?
he's still all right. He's not too hurt. I mean, he's hurt, but he's not falling over or anything. He's distressed. Let's put it that way.
Well, he deserves it.
So the Queen, having had her restraints broken, is actually going to dash to one end of the room. Sorry, the other end of the room, which has you lot in it, and she's going to restrain Mirabelle.
Oh, delightful.
Yeah. And in restraining you, she's going to use a bonus action to do a cheeky hit on you with a dagger. Ooh. That is a 15 plus 3, sorry.
That hits.
And then D4, boom, boom. That's 5 damage.
Okay.
And you will have trouble moving. And it is your turn.
I think I'm going to attempt to break out of said
Okay.
bondage.
Yep.
Is that a saving throw?
Oh, sorry, yes, yeah.
That's 12.
12. What did I say it was? 13?
It's
Oh, 12. Yep, that's a pass.
Lovely.
So you have a bonus action if you want one.
I don't have a bonus action that will help, so I'm just going to have to glower at her.
Okay, and you have your movement.
With
I'm within range of 2 different people, so
Of course you
can't move very far.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Vicki.
Well, I'm gonna have a go at this queen. Well,
Mm-hmm.
Not a problem. Vicky.
actually, first of all, I'm going to look towards. Well, can I use hold person on the queen?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna use hold. I'm gonna cast hold person on her.
Okay.
Meaning she has to make a wisdom save, and if she fails, she's paralyzed.
Okie dokie. Wisdom save. That is a 10 plus 2. 12.
My spell is a 13.
Oh, you did it. Okay. So she's paralyzed. They're paralyzed and can't take actions for a minute.
Yep, and she can retry the save at the end of her turn. And attacks against her have advantage, and melee hits are automatic crits.
Okay.
Jesus.
Very nice.
Ooh.
You notice, so the whip is, she's not going to be able to use the whip on her turn, obviously, because she's paralyzed. Very nice. Do you want to do anything else on your turn?
I'm going to toss a healing word over to Mika because I don't think he's having a very good time.
Oh no, I'm fine.
Oh, and also I can't do that because only one spell per turn. So no, that's going to be it from me.
Okie dokie. That means it is the jailer's turn. So the jailer is going to lay the slap on. So both Bear and Mirabelle are within 5 foot, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, but the bear's the one who's done something like 30 damage to him.
Yeah, he's definitely going to hit Bear at this point.
It's also a lot easier to hit.
True, yes, that's very true. Okay, so D20, that is a nat 20.
Oof.
Ooh, and that is a halberd, so that's 2d10 plus 1. Plus 2, sorry.
Plus 2, yeah.
Oh, I've dropped the d10 under my chair.
Yeah, here it is. I see it's underneath my leg.
It is a 10 and a 3, so 13 plus 2 is 15 damage. That is an oof.
I do take back what I said. I'm now 7 points off dropping wild shape.
Okay, but then after you drop wild shape, you go back to your normal hit point total. So
I think any extra damage carries over.
right.
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played a druid before.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
I also don't tend to play druids, but one of the stated goals of the Adventuring with Pride is to get people to play characters they wouldn't normally play. So,
That's fair enough.
Okay, so with that out of the way, Bear, 7 hit points. Bear, it is your turn.
Right. I can't cast any spells, so I'm just going to use
Extra so you carry over.
I'm
Okay.
going to use up the most that I can of bear form left, even if it is a bit damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think I'm in melee range of the queen, am I?
No.
Yeah. So I'll keep on engaging her minion. Bless is still up as far as I know. So that's a 20-something to hit. So
Nice.
That will hit. Yep.
I can roll in combat. Having said that, that's max damage on a d8, so that's 12 damage.
Oof.
Is he
Okay.
still up?
No, he falls to his knees.
He will triumphantly roar and then galump over to the queen and try and bat her down.
Okay, well, she's not moving, so you have advantage. And hits are criticals.
Yep. 12, or that's definitely going to hit. And you said it's an automatic crit, right?
Yes, it will be.
That's 4d6 plus 4.
Oh.
I should play more druids.
Druids are powerful, and being stuck as a bear is not a bad outcome, really.
That's 10 plus 3, 13 plus 4 is 17 damage.
Okay, she has They have now taken 17 damage.
And Bear will just sort of roar in her unmoving face.
Uh-huh. Aye. That is all good, and it is now the Queen's turn, and they're going to attempt to use the... Oh, they're trying to break out of the paralysis. Yeah. So it's a what? It's
Wisdom
a
save.
Wisdom save. Okay. That is 11 plus 2 is 13. Which I think is exactly enough.
Yes.
Cool.
My spell save DC is 13.
Cool.
Is that the start of the end of their turn, though?
That was the end of the Queen's
their
turn,
turn.
so that's the end of their turn now. So it now returns to the top of your order, Mirabelle.
Given that she just tried to bond me, I'm gonna give her a good hard slicing.
Aye. Slice away.
That's 19,
Okie doke. That will hit.
which hits, and then I do 4 damage. And on the return swing, that is more than last time, so that hits again. I think that comes to 19. Exactly the same.
Okay. Yep.
So that does 7 damage.
Okay, so how much in total?
4 plus 7 is 11 damage.
11. Right, cool. And it's now Vicky's go.
Well, there's a Goblin Queen in front of me. I think I'm gonna give her a smack.
Okie doke.
That's a 16.
That will hit. I think her AC is 16. Yeah. Oh, 15.
And that is 6 plus 9. So yeah, 9 damage.
9 damage. Aye.
She's tanky.
She is tanky.
And then as a bonus action, Mirabelle, how's your HP looking?
15.
I wouldn't mind a little bit extra for getting it out, because I can heal people when I'm back to human form. But I'm currently I'm quite low.
Fine, Mika have 6 more health.
Okay. Much obliged.
That's it from me.
Allows you to continue to wreck face.
Yeah.
Yes, which is really quite effective.
Fantastic. It's now going to be the jailer's turn. If I've got that right.
Down.
He's down.
Oh, he's down. He's dead. Yeah, of course he is. So it's Bear's turn.
Bear is going to bear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, that's 6 plus 3 plus 5. That's 14. Is that enough to hit them?
14 is not quite enough now.
In which case, I'm going to spend the Bardic Inspiration dice. Is that a D4 or a D6?
D6? Is it? I think we wrote D6.
I think it's a 6.
Yeah, D6, Bardic Inspiration.
That's an extra 4 onto whatever it was I just said. Is that 17? I think.
I think you said 14 last time.
Yeah.
18.
18 will hit.
18 will hit. He's going to try and bite at this diminutive little goblin. Again, needing max damage. I'm doing 1 with the 8. That's 12 damage.
Brilliant. She's still up.
In which case, I'm going to swipe at her with my claws. That's a 20-something. 25. Jeez.
Wow.
I feel like I'm making up for all the fumbles earlier.
Yeah, you really are. Laying it all down at once.
It's the right time to succeed.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
4 plus 4 is 8.
Okie doke. Yep, she's still tanking.
She's got a lot of health.
Yeah, well, if you're a goblin, kind of helps to be sturdy.
Yeah. And Bear will just... Rawr.
Rar. Rar. Okay, Mirabelle, if you're there. Oh no, it's the Queen's turn. Yeah, it's the Queen's turn. And the Queen is unconstrained now, if I've got that right.
Yes, she is
Yes, but
free.
surrounded by 3 people at close quarters.
Okay, in that case, the Queen is
Can
going.
still disengage. I mean, that stops you. It's disengage lasts for a full turn.
Oh, really? Okay, good. I actually did not know that. I should probably hang up my DM creds. No,
It's weird weaknesses.
yeah. Well, in that case, the Queen's going to use their nimble escape to disengage as a bonus action, step away, and then throw a dagger at probably Bear, who's looking the worst for wear.
He's doing a bit better now. He's at 13.
Probably still pick Bear, to be honest.
He's a bear after all.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a bit of an attention grabber.
Probably the biggest target. Okay, so that's a 15 plus 2 is 17. Yeah.
Yeah, that's easily hit.
Oh, plus 3, 18. So, and then it's dagger, so the usual dagger numbers. That's 4 damage.
4 damage. Not too much worry to him, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he's probably all right. Queen has done her attack. Mirabelle.
Right. I'm going to move to close the gap between me and the Queen.
Yeah, you can achieve that.
And I make an attack with 17.
17.
I think hits.
That will hit.
And then I do the max damage of 9.
9.
And then on the backswing, I get a nat 20,
Whoa.
which does... I rolled a 6 and a 1. Do I add the plus 3 twice or just once?
Once.
So that's 7, 8, 9, 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay, she is looking really haggard now. Just barely standing upright. And with that is Vicki.
Take out this inferior queen.
Yep. Well, she's no, she's no queen when she treats her clientele like this. I'm gonna give her a smack with my axe.
Okay, great axe coming in.
That's a nat 20.
Oh,
2 in a row.
wowie.
Ooh,
It's going to be
That's
just
12.
a smear of queen on the floor.
It landed on my laptop. It means my laptop's blessed. I'm gonna roll these 2 dice on my laptop, and they're gonna,
Don't
roll
accidentally
12.
shoot yourself or something.
I say that one of them is a 12, the other one is a 7. So,
Whoa.
Pretty good.
well, 12 plus 7, that's 19, plus 3, that's 22.
22 damage in a single hit. And with that, you hit the Queen with the flat of the blade, and
Queen Gaga gives her a kiss, yes.
yeah, and as the 2 of you, Mika and Mirabelle, look over, you see that there is now just a queen-shaped outline on the ground, and the Queen has in fact been killed. She is no more. The Queen is no more.
Wait. Climbed up the curtain and joined the choir invisible.
And good riddance to that.
Absolutely. Now, you are still in the Queen's quarters, which are ornately decorated. The Queen herself has some jewellery, and you're welcome to investigate or do what you like. And we're now obviously out of turn order.
I think I'm going to take a look at her throne.
Okay. So her throne...
People will say it's a wee bit ostentatious.
It is slightly ostentatious.
It's a bit beneath you, I'm going to be honest.
Tacky.
So it does seem to be made of some kind of... It's gold plated and then something which is stronger than gold underneath. So it's not pure gold, but there is a decent amount of gold on it. It was probably worth a lot of money, and somebody would probably pay for it, but obviously it's too heavy for any person to lift.
Any conveniently placed jewels that I could pop off?
Yes, there is around about 100 gold's worth of jewellery and jewel embedding that could be removed without issue, especially if you've got like a tiny crowbar in your thieves' kit.
I am not one to let this stuff go to waste, you know.
Absolutely.
Speaking about going to waste, to be quite honest, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm thinking, even if there was a hint of truth in the reason she was let in by a friend upstairs that the place was struggling for money, this seems like he had a nice idea for what he was going to make in the first place.
So I believe that down here was actually built with the Queen's money underneath. So
I meant the
enchanted woods itself. Yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because we had essentially the dreamer telling us about his dream to build a place which was inclusive, etc. So
yeah.
I think that sounds like a nice place.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, if we want, we could set up a bar ourselves.
Okay.
I don't mind doing a bit more bartending when I'm not at the threat of my life.
So
the question still remains: where did you make the bloody potion?
Good question.
Maybe she bought it.
If only you'd asked her before she died.
Completely disobliterating her.
Yeah.
Down on the floor.
If you were sufficiently improper as to check a back pocket, you would find the recipe. But where she actually made it in the place is unknown. Maybe she imports it from a private potion making facility. Yeah. So we're just about wrapping up the adventure now, but we've got some closing statements here. So as you guys head back out and back up to the main hall, the main bar, you notice that the raucous sounds of laughter and chatter are no longer ongoing, and if you investigate, which you do, you notice that people are not glazed over anymore. They seem to be the effects of the charm potion seem to have worn off with the death of the Queen, no longer having an object of their affections.
Bizarre.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the patrons are kind of in shock. The panther and the panther's owner are sort of sitting in a corner. They don't seem to have taken too much sustained damage from the fight that you started. Others of the patrons seem to be celebrating their freedom, in fact. And indeed, some seem to have collapsed due to exhaustion, but they'll be all right in a day or three. So within a couple of days, things seem to get back to how they originally were. So Litholdus has taken over the day-to-day running of the inn, as he previously did, and has obviously given bed and board to those who need it in the immediate short term. There don't seem to be any legal repercussions to the whole situation. It kind of seems like everybody would rather just forget that it happened, especially the guards who have been enforcing this for the longest time. Whether or not they were aware of what they were doing they certainly don't claim to be. So now that the Queen's been defeated, the Enchanted Woods is able to live on as a safe haven for anyone who truly needs it, as it always once was. And Mirabelle, Mika and Vicki enjoy a nice drink in what was once their prison, but is now a place that they can call home. The end.
How delightful.
So that concludes the Enchanted Woods. So we're just going to spend 5 minutes debriefing, so having a chat about the adventure. How did you guys find it?
That was, first of all, thank you for running.
Thank you very much. It was very interesting. I'm looking forward to reading the whole book when I finally get around to downloading it.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to check Kickstarter.
Yeah, so the full PDF is available now. So that was so all four of the adventures are very different. So they address kind of different ideas. So the first one we've just played through is kind of ideas of captivity, hero worship, this sort of thing. The second one is primarily based around a pride parade, although it's not flavoured as a pride parade in the setting. It's called the Springtime Festival, so it's based at the spring equinox. The third campaign is set on a casino island, and it's sort of the light-hearted of the most light-hearted of the four. And then the fourth one is sort of a classic damsel in distress story. So they address different ideas. They also get more difficult over time. So this one was the easiest. I think you'll agree that the fights weren't super hard, right?
No, they were quite comfortable.
Yeah, that's
level 3 is possibly the most powerful place at which Moon Druid is.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Quite strong.
There's definitely a sort of a power peak for actually kind of all three of the characters that we picked at level 3, because you get new spells for paladins and things as well, for bards as well. So and then as they go on, the adventures get more difficult, and there's a greater expectation that you might, have people rendered unconscious or even die in fights, and it's sort of based around that sort of difficulty scale.
Do you stay at level 3?
It's designed around level 3, but it's not difficult to reflavor any of it to if you want the characters to level up. The reason we decided to keep them all at level 3 is just because it means we can print one character sheet, like a bespoke character sheet that works for all of the adventures.
Yeah.
For the people, of course, watching and can't see it, we do have bespoke character sheets with the character art on.
Yes,
They're very fancy.
I'll see if I can make them visible for members of Tabletop at some point, because they're nice. Quite pleased with them, and the hardback copies of the book are going to come with a physical printed versions of those separate from the book as well. So
I think there might be a copy which is being donated to the society when it arrives.
yes, I think Benjamin might have donated that. It's very kind.
So yes.
Yeah. So anything else that I wanted to mention? Oh yeah, once again, please do donate to Stonewall as part of the Tabletop Radio 2.6 challenge. That we've hit the target. We hit it even earlier than we expected to, I think. So if you would like to make a donation, go to warwicktabletop.co.uk/donate Stonewall, is it?
Yeah.
Thomas.
Donate Stonewall, yes.
Yeah, tabletop/donate Stonewall.
That's
At the
donate
moment, you
Stonewall.
can also just go /donate, which will
Cool.
take you to the same place. But that link isn't stable.
Right.
We've also, for all the different amounts of money you might give, there's different rewards. You can force Finbar and people to play stuff on the kazoo. There's art commissions from Aries, our resident graphic design expert. And there's also pins with the special Pride version of the Tabletop logo available on Store Envy. All the specifics should be on the Just Giving page when you get there.
Brilliant. Thank you, John.
We don't have any
Yeah.
limits here, by the way, with time. I think there's a slight mix-up. In theory, this section is supposed to last until 6.
Yes, we would give, because the thing about one-shot campaigns is that it's impossible to know how long it's actually going to take to run.
I think we could expect a half-hour break in between, not just 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's so. I believe that in between now and 6 p.m. Anakin is going to take over and start the interlude, and then we're going to get through some of the donation incentives that have racked up so far, I think is the idea.
Some spins on the wheel.
Okay.
There's quite a few, what's the word? Kazoo songs, including the entirety of Freebird. Good luck with that, Finbar, if you're watching.
Yes, good luck, Finbar. And I would like to thank all of the three of you. You did a fantastic job. as I mentioned earlier, the campaign is designed to get you to play characters you wouldn't normally play. So
I mean, I hope I did well as a drag queen. I will admit I haven't done anything like that before.
no, absolutely, you did a great job.
I think all three did a really good job at conveying the characters, how I wrote them down.
Yes, absolutely. And
Thank you for writing it and thank you for running it.
Yeah.
Thank you for running this session. It's been awesome.
absolutely our pleasure. Okay. So in just 30 seconds or so, we're going to switch to the interval. So I just want to say thank you again to our wonderful role players, to everybody who's donated, and to Jack here for writing Adventuring with Pride. So thank you all, and we will see you soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye bye.